Tifa, have you considered not hurting yourself before a stream?
I have, but maybe I like it that way.
I doubt that. Welcome in, everybody. Tifa doesn't just have one boo-boo on her finger from being pricked for her blood sugar and stuff yesterday. No, now she's also bruised where they drew the blood plasma from. And this morning, while Tifa was doing her cardio exercises, which, by the way, round of applause, she's still doing it. Thank you, super proud of you. This morning she went through her back.
Yeah.
So are you wearing the same shirt as yesterday?
Yes. I only wore it during the stream.
I was gonna say, because you did wear something else earlier when I picked you up.
Yeah.
Also, you have something there. I have removed a piece of... I don't know what this is. There, under my
I don't think
nail.
anyone cares.
They do on the internet. I need to explain to the people running this wonderful, perfect, beautiful platform that I didn't just grab your left tit and I'm trying to get away with it. It's a thing. I don't know.
But yeah, Tuesday they were apparently rougher than the other 2 days, or the other 2 times, because then I had nothing, felt nothing, and now my finger is bruised and my arm is bruised.
You can actually see that, right? Yeah, it's visible enough.
The inside, oh, you can't see this, I think, there.
Yeah.
The inside of my arm looks like I'm a junkie.
Are you not? I mean, you have a needle in your arm regularly. Tifa, I don't think somebody who injects themselves does the... That's...
Maybe I do both. Anyway, it's fine.
I don't think you should.
It's more annoying that I went through my back.
Yeah, why did you do that?
Because I am apparently not smart.
Can confirm. Welcome to Psycho. Hello everybody. How are you all doing? On this wonderful, hopefully stable internet Tuesday. So far,
take the summons.
0 dropped frames. And from what I recall from yesterday, it also seemed fine, but I didn't check at the end of the stream. So maybe it wasn't. But nobody said anything, so I just pretend it was fine. That makes sense.
I think it was fine. I didn't see any buffering on my screen, at least.
Good.
Or I was too busy checking things out to actually focus on it, but...
Oh, yeah.
Usually I can see it buffer.
Talking about yesterday, I posted about this on Discord, but I also want to use this opportunity to talk about this. To the copyright holders of Benny Hill. Fuck you. Now, where's Jack going with this? We do this for fun. We don't do this to make money off of it. That's just not what we do. We have day jobs to pay our bills, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. When you upload a YouTube video, you can... After a certain point, you can choose to turn on monetization. For us, it's activated by default. And every now and then we upload something where YouTube goes, can't do that, somebody else owns something in your video, and that's perfectly fine. I want artists to get paid for things they've done. That makes sense to me. I also like to get paid for my work, so that's cool with me. I didn't know until this morning that if you own a video or music, you can make it so that nobody else can put even just a short burst of it in their hour-long video on YouTube and then upload it. And you can upload it, but you cannot make it so that anybody can see it. Yesterday, during the Floor 796 stream, we watched, I want to say 15 seconds roughly? 12-15 seconds, it wasn't longer than that. Of Benny Hill, because it was one of the references on Floor 796. But you should check that out, that video, on that VOD. So we watched a little tiny bit of a Benny Hill episode. Was it movies? Was it a show?
I think it's a movie.
Wasn't it a show?
I do not know. But before you continue, Skinner,
Benny Hill.
how are you doing? Congrats on being first, second, and nice try, Psycho. But Skinner, also congratulations on being third, spiting yourself before anyone else could.
What she said, but I meant it, but I was ranting. So that's part of the video. And this morning I learned from YouTube that because we have Benny Hill in our video, we aren't allowed to publish it. Why? Why would you do that?
Well, now you have an even tougher check on what's actually done with your videos, I guess.
But
it's like J.K. Rowling not wanting anyone to write fan art with her characters.
first of all, fuck her. No.
Yeah, I'm saying the idea, like you don't want anyone to do anything with your content.
That does not work. No, but why would you be this draconic about it? So, for a second, imagine you want to review British TV shows from the 80s. Benny Hill is gonna be part of that.
The Pretender? No, that was 90s.
It's also not British, I think.
Was The Pretender American?
I'll Google that in the meantime. You couldn't do that about Benny Hill because the moment you show Benny Hill in your video, you are not allowed to have that video visible on YouTube. Why? Why would you do that? I genuinely don't know. I've counterclaimed this, stating that this video clearly isn't about Benny Hill for a number of reasons, and I don't think this ruling should stand. But because I'm a petty fuck and I want to upload the video anyway, I created an edited version where we put a placeholder image explaining why there is a sudden jump cut. Because Benny Hill hates the internet apparently. Or the people who own Benny Hill.
Small part, it doesn't matter. But even more importantly, The Pretender is older than the 80s.
Thank you for invalidating everything I just ranted about. Thank you, Tifa. Appreciate it.
No, that was towards you putting the placeholder there.
Okay, not how it sounded.
No, that's for the placeholder. It's such a small
I'm ranting
part.
for 5 minutes and Tifa goes, yeah, anyway, none of that matters. So The Pretender is a British TV show.
Yeah, The Pretender is really good. I'm not trying to give them too much attention and credit here, but what I said was about the fact that you put a placeholder there, because it is such a small part anyway, it doesn't really matter for the whole stream. It's not like you had to cut out half an hour.
Yeah, we're on to the next thing, stop yapping. We're talking about the BBC because they own Benny Hill, I didn't know that.
No, we're talking about The Pretender, that was such a good show.
Actually, no, I've got Discord closed already. I don't have it open during streams. I forgot to check who exactly claims that. But I don't care. If you ever hear anything about Benny Hill and you wonder, should I watch it? Clearly not, because they don't want you to see it. Just saying. Because everybody knows YouTube is such a small, tiny thing that doesn't matter. Why would anybody who wants to see a video or listen to something go to that website specifically, right?
Well, they don't want you to watch it there.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Just buy it.
The Pretender is British. It's also older than the 80s. What the fuck? Is it just called The Pretender?
Because I remember watching it as a kid. I really loved that show.
Do you mean this show that I've got picture open right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an American-made show.
Okay, The Pretender is then indeed...
It's made by NBC, the national broadcasting company, owned currently by, I don't even know who they're owned by, doesn't matter, USA.
1996, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, in 1996 the US existed already.
No, I was thinking about that around the time when I was watching.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 96 to May 13, 2000.
Because I remember I started watching it when I was around 8. So that works
checks out.
Yeah.
Isn't The Pretender like a cop drama thing? The Pretender is an American action drama television series created by Stephen Long Mitchell and Craig W. Van Sickle. The series follows Jared, a young man who is a pretender, a genius imposter able to quickly master the complex skill sets necessary to impersonate a member of any profession. I've seen that show.
It was so good.
That was pretty cool.
I feel like it's never really talked about anymore, or people don't know it, but that was such a good show.
Because nowadays when people Google anything about imposters, they just find Among Us.
And it had fair enough, and it had such a good thing too, because I remember first
What thing?
airing order, because I remember first watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and then if I was lucky I could still watch The Pretender.
Okay.
Because that came after.
If you're allowed to stay up that long.
Yeah.
Okay. But
At like TV time, so sometimes.
But you know that's not on the people who made the show The Pretender.
No,
that
I'm just
it
saying
was a
that...
good thing that you sometimes were able to watch an episode.
Yeah.
That's up to the TV station where you watched it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that back then it was awesome. It's like when you had your lunch hour or lunch break during school and you had to run home for food. They were like just in time to watch Pokemon.
That's not a thing where I went to school.
No?
We didn't have lunch break or whatever you just call it.
In what's it called? Preschool? Before you go to high school?
Preschool, I think in Germany, kids are like 5.
What's the age where you go to school between like 4 and 11 before you go to high school? What's that called in English? Grade school?
Grundschule. Ground school, if you translate literally.
We call it basic
like base
school.
school.
Primary school.
Primary school.
Yeah,
Welcome
in primary
Benjima.
school.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing? In primary school, you used to go to school from, I don't remember if it was 8 or 9, and then until 12. Then from 12 to 1, you had your lunch break and you went home to have some food. Then at 1, you had to be back at school, and then you went to school until like 3.
Nope, we just stayed in school. Yeah, we didn't have that either. I didn't really have like spaces in my curriculum, in my daily like class schedule where I would have had the time to go home until like high school when I was like 16.
Well, primary school is usually not that far from your home. So that was the whole thing. You could also, if your parents were at like work or you
yeah, but I had
go...
classes then. Where the lunch break was 30 minutes.
When you're like 5 years old, or even 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. What about it?
I
don't remember how long school was when I was like 5 or 6.
That's just saying, it's weird to me.
I made a note for myself to buy a box set of a Pretender and give to Tifa as a gift, and I cannot freely say this on stream because she's gonna have forgotten about it.
That was so nice. And then sometimes you would just have lunch at a friend's place, or if you couldn't go home or couldn't stay with anyone, you could also stay at school. They had like the lunch ladies, which didn't actually give you lunch. You had to take lunch home, but they would keep an eye on you.
Why did you just call them lunch ladies if they're basically just there to look after you during break?
Well, we didn't call them lunch ladies in Dutch, but I think that's the proper English term that comes closest to it.
No, I think lunch people are the ones that prepare and give you lunch.
The literal translation would be overstay mothers.
That sounds like a really unwanted visit from relatives.
That's why I think lunch...
A chaperone, yeah.
Lunch chaperones, yeah, basically that.
Thank you, Dark Lord. That does make sense. Did I already say hello, Dark Lord? Hello, Dark Lord. How are you doing?
What he said?
I would not go back to school. Well, I always did.
That was a risk, but I don't recall anyone not going back at least.
Same. We called them dinner ladies, all of them. Serve you food, watch you play. But they are called smsa? Smsa? What? Supervising matriarch Sonic Adventure. What? How do we go from lunch lady, dinner lady to smsa? I'm lost.
Trying to fill in the words, but I can't.
Skinner is equally confused, so clearly this isn't a proper British thing.
School meal supervisory assistant.
Super Mario Super Adventure. Also fun. School meals supervisory assistant. That
does sound very official.
That's a mouthful. That sounds like somebody who should get paid a lot of money. Yeah. Super Mario Super Adventure was not as good as Galaxy.
Oh.
Arguable.
Before I forget, speaking of watching over, the next break we take might take a little bit longer because gotta do a welfare check.
Because Tifa is weird.
No, I think that's completely normal. For the past hour
and a half,
our neighbor's alarm clock has been going off. And I think this might be the neighbor that was also in the angry janitor letter of the 80-year-old with cancer, because this guy has had a cough, which makes me wonder how he's still alive.
My dad's been coughing since I was born.
Yeah, but this is like a how are you still alive cough, and your dad is just like cough. Anyway, I haven't heard him cough in a while actually, but now his alarm has been going off for an hour and a half. That is not normal.
So the alarm is ringing right now, constantly?
Yeah.
If I wouldn't be listening to the background music, probably, yeah.
So I feel it's worth going past and trying to have a quick peek or look.
Go ahead. I'd call the building super. We don't have such a thing in Germany.
I can try to call the janitors, but I'll ring...
You're not allowed, you're too young for that, Tifa.
We once actually called the janitors when we had no water and they told us to fuck off.
And he told us to fuck off and call our landlord, which we did, who also didn't reply.
Yeah.
Go check on him now. Here's the reason why I'm super chill about this. So first of all, I don't believe that sound is coming from our next wall neighbor. Because I can hear it when the windows are open. I cannot hear it if I'm at the wall next to that apartment.
That is true. It isn't the bedroom alarm.
So first of all, that. So I don't believe it's the same guy. Second of all, I believe I have heard that same alarm many times before because I usually work from home. And there is this one unit family person, I don't know, that regularly sets an alarm for something. And they never turn it off. The sound that Tifa's complaining about, I hear regularly for long periods of time. So for me, it's another Wednesday.
Yeah, but that's why I'm gonna give it until the break. And then I will go check. I don't think it's normal to leave your alarm on for that long.
I think it is the same. I'll just assume it's a family that set an alarm for something. I hope I don't have something in the oven, because if the stream is suddenly gone because there's a fire alarm, you'll know. I think
I did check for smoke already. There's no smoke anywhere.
Set an alarm again and then left the apartment.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna check. Wait until the break. I'm gonna check if the noise is still there, and if it is still there, I'm gonna have a look on where it's coming from.
Very sweet.
So I'm just saying the next break might take a little bit longer.
Just go
Detective
faster.
Detective Tifa on the case.
Detective Pikachu and Tifa.
Sure, you can tell your landlord that she needs to tell them to stop. Oh, no, our landlord is ignoring us at the moment, I think.
Yeah, she hasn't replied to any of my emails for the last 5 weeks either. So, nothing's broken, so that's fine, but still.
We still need her about the plumber thing.
Yeah. Oh well. Everything is fine. It's just annoying.
I shall take Detective Frog with me and we shall go on an adventure.
You could do it. It means you own the apartment. Not in Germany. No. Unfortunately, that would be awesome. Suddenly squatters' rights. Like we still pay rent. I'm pretty sure if I stop it goes off of my account. I'm pretty sure if I stop paying rent, nobody would notice. But I don't do that because then I get in trouble.
We had that when we moved in. We signed a document where it said that they can take the money off of our account automatically.
Not that they can, that they would.
That they would take the money off of our account automatically, and we had to sign for it and give our approval, blah blah blah. So we did that. And I think it was after 2 months that after 3 months, that could also be, that we noticed they didn't take anything off of our account yet.
But we were remodeling the bathroom because somebody had to when we moved in, and our landlord wasn't doing it. And it was a ton of work and it took forever. So this asshole, he's not around anymore. This asshole steps into the apartment, looks around, does his inspection shit, and is like, oh, how far are you along? And so we show him. I'm like, by the way, thank you. It's super nice that for all the trouble you haven't taken your rent yet. He's like, What do you mean I haven't taken rent? Are you not paying me? I can sue you for the interest. I'm like, dude, we have a contract that says you withdraw the money from my account. We signed this. It's your responsibility to take the money from my account. That's how this works. That's how it normally works in Germany too. It's not just a Jack and Tifa thing. He's like, that can't be. I already had the rental contract in my hand because I expected something like this. So I show him. He's like, I don't know anything about this.
I feel my heart rate going up thinking of this guy.
Same. So I started transferring the money monthly, and because I'm a very nice person, despite what it sometimes seems with Tifa, I also transferred the 3 months he hadn't taken yet. That's how much of an asshole I am.
We had so much stress during that time because of that asshole.
Yeah.
It took like 6 months before we could actually move in. We were also a bit too naive and just...
We were young, we were stupid. The apartment housing market was already bullshit back then. It's only gotten worse since. Mistakes have been made. But we made it.
No, that's true. I think that was the closest we ever have been to breaking up. That was so close. We were like arguing every day. We were fighting every day because of this asshole. He was a complete and utter prick. When he gets stressed, that triggers me.
No, we were both equally prickish already.
That was absolutely deserved.
Nah,
it was like this close. If it wasn't for the fact that there was a cancellation term on the contract, it would have been over that time.
Will I admit that I was under a lot of stress, I didn't know how to handle, and I was being a dick a lot of the time? Yes. But so was she. Did I make her like this? No, because Tifa was feeling the same stress. We were both being assholes, and that created synergy. So we went even more dickish towards each other. Anyway, it's fine. It's done. It's settled.
Yeah, I know.
Problem solved.
Also, yeah. How are you doing?
Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. He's not around anymore. Jack took care of him. I did. I was as nice to him as I could. It's not my fault that he didn't do better health-wise, unfortunately. I mean, he was an asshole to me always and forever, but as a person, I feel bad for him. But that's neither here nor there.
He was a bit odd.
Slightly, yeah.
Slightly odd, yeah.
I feel my heart rate going up, Tifa remembering how long it took to dig that hole. Good thing we have friends in the Sonozaki family that afterwards... No, different story. I need to go check my chicken dippers. B&B sounds tasty. Carry on with a sad story of how we nearly didn't get eggs. The story is over. It was just that.
Oh, there was so much stress involved. It's been very quiet.
Yes.
For a long time now.
Thankfully. How many dropped frames? Welcome and Ranger. So far, dropped frames from network, 0. Nice. Still coming to you from the Twitch service in Munich, by the way. I haven't touched it since yesterday's stream.
Psycho has summoned GigaChat, who has given us stable internet.
Excuse you?
This wasn't even our internet. A stable connection.
No, that's not true.
What?
Psycho is the GigaChat that summoned stable internet. Get your facts straight.
Well, you still got the fact wrong, because it was an unstable internet.
Yes, it was.
But the internet has been stable the entire time.
Psycho summoning stable internet. Yeah, I can still scroll up and see the message. Up yours, Tifa. Up yours.
Whatever. I'm just saying.
Ranger, thank you for spiting Skinner. I appreciate that.
How are you doing?
Now
I'm hungry.
Since Tifa is...
I want chicken sticks. Chicken fingers.
Chickens don't have fingers. They only have toes. And wings.
Well, then you turn it into fingers. You know the chicken fingers. You know the chicken strips, which I think is Benjima's chicken dipper. What's a chicken dipper?
I know, Tifa. It was supposed to become a funny haha moment, and now you're way too deep in the rabbit hole of actually looking up chicken anatomy.
No, I wanted to know the shape of a chicken dipper, but it's basically more like a nugget, and a chicken finger is very thin and straight and crispy and very nice. I actually like them a little bit drier.
In in a different world, Chicken Dipper would be the name for a serial chicken murderer?
That would actually be good.
Oh no, the Chicken Dipper is on the loose. And it's this asshole that just goes to chicken farms at night, grabs chickens and drowns them. I don't know why that very dark thought crossed my mind.
Oh no, Karen died. He got dipped by the chicken dipper.
He's gonna dip ya. Yeah, apparently.
That's kind of sad.
You know what will also always dip ya? Tifa's recaps. Hey Tifa, what has happened the last time we played Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 7? Minagoroshi. I totally knew the name of this chapter.
The last time we played Higurashi, we have started Chapter 7. What? That's exactly what we did.
Yeah, a beautiful recap. I know everything I needed to know now.
I only said one line.
Stop stalling, it's disgusting.
Yeah, because you're ruining the
If you stall any harder, the engine's gonna blow.
So, the last time we played Higurashi, we started Chapter 7, where so far it seems like Rika is our main character. We started off with what seems like...
Finger snapping.
Oyashiro-sama talking to us, who has become aware of a higher being watching there, which is, you know, us.
I'll take over. Chapter 7 starts in... Fuck, I don't know how to explain it either. In the void between time and space. It's kind of like a purple haze-ish area. There is like a kaleidoscopic effect with different shots from the characters and the events so far happening. A voice, whom we believe to be Oyashiro-sama, is talking to us. The voice's brother or sister. The voice insists to call us sister for now. And congratulates us on having come into existence. The voice, potentially Oyashiro-sama,
it has to be with all the explanations he's given.
Effectively gives us a recap for the first 6 chapters. And tells us some things we might have missed. For example, there's 3 rules in place in Higurashi, apparently. Rule X, as the voice called it. Someone always goes crazy. Someone always goes berserk and causes something horrible to happen. That
I feel like you go into
happens.
the rules a bit too fast. But
I don't care. Rule Y. Miyotakano and
Tomitake?
first name Tomitake always die on the night of Watanagashi. That's just a constant in every world. It's fated to happen. And rule Z, Ooishi and or Takano always somehow make it worse. Takano with her scrapbooks and the funny ideas in her head, Ooishi with being his playful self and bringing up zombies, for example. The voice goes through lots of details of the individual chapters, recaps them basically, and congratulates us, the sister, on being able to see the fragments of a story. Because apparently we are stuck, or this voice, together with us now, is stuck in this space between the worlds, fated to watch history through the eyes of Rika, who is trying to avoid her fate of dying.
Who just wants a happy life with her friends, basically.
Yes, and despite still being in the body of an 8-year-old, mentally she is way older. Because it turns out, apparently, Rika retains all of her memories. Every time she dies, she gets sent back in time. How would she get sent back in time? By Hanyu, of course. Who is Hanyu? Hanyu has never been brought up before yet, I think. Hanyu is the invisible friend, a yokai, that Rika alone can see. looks a lot like Rika actually. Similar at least. Kind of like cat ears and with a Shinto priest outfit.
Cat ears more like goat
or horns.
but
yeah, true. Horns, kind of. Maybe it's a hair ornament. We don't know yet. And Hanyu apparently can turn back time for Rika. So every time she dies, Hanyu resets the clock as far as possible. And after the events of chapter 6 and the next day past the story of chapter 6, Rika dying, Hanyu went Zavarudo, and because Hanyu's powers are being depleted, she is now only brought back 2 weeks.
It used to be months before, now it's just getting into 1-2 weeks before her actual death. So that's which is also explains kind of how the chapter flow has been going. Because it starts off a bit further, you know, when Keiichi is just moving into town. The next time we skip the moving and he has just established it, and I think we start at like the first time they do the class.
Something like that, yeah.
Class games, and every single time we restarted the game a little bit closer to Higurashi.
To Watanagashi.
Or to Watanagashi.
When you play Higurashi with every chapter, you get closer to Higurashi. Tifa said it first, write that down.
Which is apparently because of Hanyu.
Yes. Did we forget anything?
No, we then swap back to Rika, who awakens and explains how every time time gets reset, she doesn't really know what's going on and has this sort of like blackout.
Because it all blends together for her by now. She retains the memories from previous lives. She doesn't remember how she dies. She just remembers like very hazy moments of it. Like she believed last time somebody suffocated her because somebody placed their hand over her mouth. Which would make sense if somebody tried to save her during the volcanic gas eruption thing.
Yeah.
Maybe put like a towel or something on her face to not inhale the gases.
Could have been Satsuko.
Yeah.
So Rika, you can kind of tell she's losing motivation on trying to get her at the end, because she reminisces a bit about how last time she witnessed a miracle with Keiichi, remembering and sort of changing the scene on how things went because he was able to save Reina by not giving up when she did already. She tries to make him remember again, but she fell down from a tree. So they didn't really know what was...
She came to, in this reality, as she was playing with her friends and she fell down a tree.
Basically.
Bumping her head.
So she tried to make Keiichi remember again to see if the miracle happened again as well, but it didn't. Her friends started to get worried about her, obviously, because she fell from a tree. Maybe she
might be concussed.
So she wanted to get her to get some help. And I think that is where we saved off.
Yeah, then the chapter kind of ends with people being worried about her and her being frustrated that Keiichi doesn't remember what he remembered in chapter 6.
Basically.
But she needs him to, because if there's ever a way out of this maze with no exits, something needs to be changed. Something needs to happen differently. And she doesn't know what it is.
She does believe Keiichi is the answer, though.
Yes.
Because he has been able to change things up.
Yes.
And remembered.
The miracle has happened before, so it needs to happen again. Hopefully with more people maybe this time. Yes.
They brought up Hanyu only once and Rika calls her the annoying one.
I'm thinking...
I remember that actually, and we were thinking she was talking about Satoko.
Yeah, I think Hanyu has been around a lot actually.
Yeah, all of those times where we had like the tips where Rika was talking to someone
I think
as
that
oyashiro-sama.
was not necessarily Satoko once, I think it was, but then the text also swapped and said Satoko in the end. I think it was Hanyu berating her for drinking alcohol.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
All of those conversations?
That was me.
Oh. Suddenly
I took off one of my house shoes.
Oh. Somehow it felt like the ground was vibrating.
Because it did, because I dropped one of my house shoes. So, yes.
But yeah.
I actually thought about this under the shower before stream. I think Hanyu has been in the story a lot actually. One, in the tips, like Tifa just said. I think Hanyu was in the Furude shrine when Takano and Keiichi and Shion break in. The knocking.
Oh,
The incessant knocking, trying to get their attention, trying to make them go away. That's Hanyu.
But why would only Thingy notice it? Only Shion heard the knocking and all of that.
Because Hanyu is a yokai.
I mean, who knows? Who knows? It
Because technically only Rika can interact with her or can only see her, but that doesn't mean she can't interact with the physical world in some ways. Maybe she strains really hard. She can do something.
We have not established that yet, no.
You just had, I hope the camera fully captured that, you had the most beautiful yawning face.
No, probably.
It looked like you were trying to...
Hey!
I don't know. It looked very weird.
That's a perfectly placed wisdom.
The monkey comes out of his sleeve.
Yes,
Indeed.
that is so well placed.
And I hope that will make the cabbage fat. I hope the outcome will change. Well, not that RNG though.
I know they're getting ready for the book. Yes,
Always.
we are.
Always. 2 whole more chapters.
Are monkeys common in the Netherlands? No, but we do love monkeys. We have a lot of sayings with monkeys.
That is true. Why is a monkey in a sleeve? Why not? Are you saying monkeys can't be in sleeves?
To find out what's really happening, obviously.
Yeah. Are you monkeyist, Benjamin? Now, are you ready, Tifa?
I think I'm ready.
Yes, I am. Wait, no. Too late. Your pre-order of DK Bonanza, I forgot the name of the game, has been cancelled because you just said that. There you go.
This is the first time I'm actually really looking forward to a Donkey Kong game. But I don't think I'm gonna...
No! Too late. Too late.
I don't think I'm gonna buy it at launch.
I won't either. I'll wait for the price to drop because I'm not gonna pay $80 for it.
Yeah, same. Or maybe I'll do the Psycho strategy. Just wait until someone drops it on eBay.
Yeah, fair. When is the Seth Rogen edition coming out? Hopefully never. Tifa, sit like a human. Dark Lord.
Oh.
Nice. 2 geniuses. 1 thought. Tifa. Arist thou ready?
I am ready.
You don't seem ready.
I am so beat.
Well, get your shit together, Tifa. It's time to Higu some rushies.
I am so ready for my micro pension.
It's so cool that they made some games based off that Mario movie. I know, right? It was such a good movie, too. Oh!
Oh yeah, Rika's brought to the clinic.
I had another random thought under the shower that I completely forgot to mention during the recap. And I believe in my thoughts so much, I'm gonna write it down in our predictions. Which, by the way, is prediction number 69 for me.
Nice. Time for me to go pick up some trash off the ground while listening. Dark Lord.
Enjoy.
Have fun at work. Give butts.
My prediction is that Irie is oyashiro-sama.
I'm quite sure you've already said that like 100 times. You might want to search for Irie.
Now I can explain why.
Yeah, but Irie has been Satoko's
I can explain
brother.
why now.
He has been Satoko. No, he has been Keiichi. Like, I'm quite
He's
sure.
He's also a robot.
I'm quite sure that might have been mentioned.
You're doing it properly.
I did the tree.
Did you say Satoshi too?
Yes, exactly.
I imagine Dark Lord trying to work right now, like trying to focus on work. Like, what the fuck is he saying? Did you think he's Satoshi too? I was wrong about that. Here's why. And I think we got a hint, or we got the confirmation of that, through a combination of... I know it has nothing to do with me, but it feels very disrespectful.
Deal with it.
I guess I'll try. I think we got a combination that tells us that I'm right when I say it this time. In chapter 5, Irie, I think it was chapter 5, Irie was called to the scene of Tomitake's death. Mm-hmm. We got this whole scene that we haven't seen before.
I think that was chapter 6, by the way.
In one of the previous chapters. I think it was 5. It doesn't matter. In one of the previous chapters, we saw the scene of a murder. The police calls Irie. Irie appears, it's late at night, they found Tomitake on the side of the street. And Irie is there and basically just go, yeah, he's dead. I've never seen anything like this. This is so crazy. And he's talking to Ooishi for a moment. And then suddenly the narration changes. And there we get our first real confirmation, just straight out, that something supernatural is happening. Because the narration suddenly goes, I don't know what's happening. I feel like this is a maze without an exit. No matter what I do, the outcome is always the same. And we were thinking, oh my god, suddenly that's Oyashiro-sama talking. Right? Do you remember that scene?
Yeah, I remember, yes.
Yes, it is Oyashiro-sama because he just appeared on the scene.
Don't think so.
Oyashiro-sama.
It was probably Hanyu.
Oyashiro-sama is Irie. Hanyu, I don't believe, was there. I think Hanyu... Wait. Could it be Hanyu? We don't know enough about how Hanyu works.
Yeah.
Can Hanyu only do things around Rika, with Rika? Is Hanyu free to move? Is she stuck to the Furude shrine grounds because of the relevance?
If anyone other than Rika is Oyashiro-sama, it's gonna be Keiichi.
You say Keiichi is Oyashiro-sama?
Yeah. You can write that down next to it. I'm countering you with Keiichi. Keiichi is probably the actual reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama, and I don't know how, but that explains why Keiichi is able to bring in these miracles. If it's not Rika.
I could see that. I don't necessarily disagree. I think Irie is more likely, but Keiichi being the other voice, at least, the voice that greeted us, without knowing necessarily, yeah, I could see that.
Keiichi is basically, the story is repeating itself. Keiichi is the foreigner who has come to the city.
The parallels are there. It's not that a doctor came to town, Irie, it's that an outsider came and fixed it, just like Oyashiro-sama.
Yeah. So in that regard, I think Keiichi is the closest. But if Keiichi is actually Oyashiro-sama, what is up with Rika?
She's just a victim of it.
Is it just because she's a shrine maiden and open to everything? Because if there is something as Oyashiro-sama, there's gonna be more.
True, if there's one deity, why isn't there many? You know? Basically. And to prove, let's also do the egg command, me first. Let's see whose prediction is right. Okay.
Wow.
We don't know.
Definitely lies.
Alright. I never thought of using the egg command as a coin flip kind of thing. Anyway, now I think I've dispersed all of my beautiful ideas with that. There, you're all done. Irie withdrew the needle from Satoko's arm. It must not have hurt much for the needle to be pulled out.
Wait, Satoko's arm?
Satoko kept her eyes closed in fear, thinking that the needle was still inside her arm.
No, wait, I missed this. Why is Satoko in the hospital? I thought we were bringing Rika in.
She's getting her parasite shots. I don't know. If we keep going, we'll find out, I think.
No, I'm just thinking if we missed something in the previous...
No, we didn't.
Okay.
We missed to comment once again on how damn good it looks with a yellow tie on a black shirt. That's a nice contrast. I dig it. They live together. Exactly, Dark Lord.
No, I get that, but why is Satoko now getting shot?
A shot. She isn't getting shot. That means something completely different, Tifa. It's a Japanese clinic, not an American school.
You know what I'm saying here. Wow.
It took you too long.
No, but that's why I'm confused. I thought we brought in Rika and now Satoko is the one getting a... Also, they changed the background a little bit for the clinic.
By the way, if you don't like that comment, fix it. Sorry, where were we? I don't think they changed the background for this.
Yes, they have.
I'll take your word for it.
The shirt definitely wasn't on the bed in the clinic background. The little jar with the whatever pencil gummy that is there wasn't there.
An eraser.
It looks a little eraser.
It's a big eraser for the big mistakes.
I'm not sure what else that can even be. And all in all, it seems a little bit messier than it was before. Or maybe that's just my imagination.
Imagine if we ever were to get to reading the lines. We could know all of these things.
No, because they never talk about the background. They're probably standing in the school canteen.
Welcome to Tifa, rants about the artwork in Higurashi. Episode I lost count.
Yeah, basically. I'm still salty about that. Satsuko, you're all done, you know? Hey, new background.
We have never seen this one before.
Oh, sure. What? Oh, it's finally over?
Me, when anything with doctors. As Satoko opened her eyes, she found that Irie was no longer sitting in front of her. Takano was wiping her arm with rubbing alcohol instead.
What makes you think this is not Rika?
Because I narrated earlier, but you have a point. Go on. Before you do though, character art?
Aw, she looks so happy there.
Yeah, because she got to put a needle in a person.
I like the second Takano art.
What's with the thigh highs and short nurse's outfit?
Don't all nurses wear that?
That would make sense if she's playing to Irie's proclivities, I think is the right term. No, I'm sorry. That's a porn outfit. If you want to wear this, be my guest. I've never seen a nurse in that kind of outfit.
It's to make you less scared when you get the shot.
But how do you drain my blood if it's not in my veins, in my arm?
That's why they prick you elsewhere.
Oh! I don't even... Oh, Tifa, you know I instantly imagine these things when you say them. It was acceptable in the 80s, apparently. Let's put this to console. I like this outfit better. The Angel Mount outfits were worse. Tifa, what the fuck? Tifa, gonna Tifa. What can I say? Okay, Rika, then...
We're not restarting.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not. Continue. The line has been set. It is clear. We've argued about it. We do not need to. Someone back me up here.
Everybody in favor of Rika doing the narration of what is obviously Rika? Exactly.
The line is clear. We now know it was supposed to be Rika. It's okay.
Nobody heard it well.
As Satoko opened her eyes, she found that Irie was no longer sitting in front of her. Takano was wiping her arm with rubbing alcohol instead.
I'm very proud of you.
That's right, you're all done now. Dr. Irie is good with needles, unlike me. Yeah, if it was her, would have looked like this. You didn't even notice he was finished. Don't touch that part of your arm for a while, okay?
I'm sorry, but with Irie, you didn't even notice he was finished. Don't touch that part of your arm for a while, okay? It's different.
Also try not to carry anything heavy. Also, this makes sense. I even spoke to Jack about it. The first 2 times I went for blood/plasma donation, it was men doing the needlework. And I didn't feel a thing. Didn't notice a thing. And Tuesday, it was a woman. I'm now well bruised up. On both places. Oh, wait, this one.
You don't even know where you got needled. Is Tifa being sexist? Who knows?
Coincidence? I think.
Where the fuck are you going with this?
I don't know actually. But it's funny because in Higurashi it's the same.
I'll let it stand like this. I am not gonna be part of this conversation. It's fine.
Of course. I know that by now. Good for you, Satoko. I'll pet your head for you. It was nothing. There's nothing I did that would require you to pet my head. Not long ago, she would go into panic when it was time for her to get her shot. The way she behaved today in itself is worthy of praise. Okay, we just skip time. This is not directly after.
That's usually what happens between scenes in media.
Yeah, but I thought this was them skipping to the clinic to check on Rika.
Maybe that would have already happened if you didn't keep stalling.
Maybe. Everyone in everyone in the room smiled, aware of that growth.
Please give her the usual test. Will you, Takano-san?
Sure. Alright, Satoko-chan. It's time for the quiz we always do. Wait, where's the dino bandage? Your quiz is always quite difficult for me.
Woman, man, camera, TV.
What?
Trust me, you live a better life if you don't understand the reference.
Take it easy. If it's too difficult, you can just tell me that you don't know the answer. You don't have to think too hard. Just tell me whatever comes to mind at the moment. Takano smiled at Satoko to ease her tension. Then she led Satoko to a desk in the back of the examination room. I hope Satoko gets better soon. I don't know if it's because of the heat, but Satoko has been showing negative symptoms since last month.
Negative symptoms? Don't you want the symptoms to be negative?
I'm guessing negative symptoms in this case as in bad symptoms.
Oh yeah, I'm confusing the wording. You're negative for symptoms is when you don't have any, and negative symptoms is when they're bad. Okay, yeah. Cool.
I already don't get the negative symptoms wording here, but... The change of the seasons can affect her physically and emotionally. It's not a surprise that this is happening to her. I'm going to see Irie and ask him how Satoko is doing. What are you going to do, Hanyu? I'm going to stay with Satoko. So that kind of confirms she isn't attached to Rika.
Okay, so she can move independently.
Thank you. I'll leave it to you.
But do they need to... How do yokai work? Can you always hear your yokai? Is it like telepathy? Is it like proximity chat where you, like in real life, you have to be in a certain distance to hear each other? How does that work with yokai? Because it cannot be based on proximity, like sound waves, because nobody else can hear Hanyu. Is she just imagining her?
Maybe you should have just pressed A and we would have found out already. Hanyu went over to where Satoko was. Fortunately, I'm the only one who can see Hanyu. She won't be a distraction if she goes and observes Satoko's tests.
She didn't say I'm the only one who can see and hear Hanyu.
I doubt that. Why would you need to say that?
Because it lends credibility to me saying Hanyu, was the one knocking in the Fruta Temple?
Yeah, knocking isn't speaking.
Can be, if it's Morse code. Yokai don't concern themselves with petty things like logic. I wish they did though.
Makes more sense. I, of course, would be a distraction like that. This is supposed to be a routine exam, but it seems like Takano is teasing her by giving her difficult questions. It would be pretty funny to observe how Satoko reacts to them. I'm a little jealous that Hanyu gets to watch everything without being a bother to Satoko.
That was the oyashiro-sama laugh.
No.
No. Yes.
Irie was talking with 2 other staff members about Satoko's exam results. I walked up and joined them.
Thank goodness. She seems to be improving. Yes?
Oh. From what Irie was saying, her results must have turned out well.
If you want to be the narration, Tifa.
Yeah, I saw the thing buffer, so I thought...
You didn't.
But it did. Anyway, Irie. How is she?
Don't worry. The results were good. I'll discuss this more with you two later.
After ordering his staff to continue their work, Irie showed me some difficult paperwork and started explaining it to me.
I guess we overreacted to the results. What are you doing?
I went through my back, remember?
Yeah, it's still throwing me off though. I guess we overreacted to the test results from last week. Her condition shifted dramatically because of a changing climate. Did she have a cold by any chance?
There was one night recently that was fairly hot. Satoko was sleeping without her blanket and her stomach was exposed. She might have caught a cold that night.
Aww.
She was sleeping with her belly exposed. I poked her belly button, but she didn't wake up at all.
That is so cute. Not helpful, but kind of cute. That sounds like fun. Please call me if it happens again. I would love to poke Satoko's chan. This is so disgusting, I can't even read it. Please call me if it happens again. I would love to poke Satoko-chan's belly button too.
It's so soft. Her belly is chunky too. It was so cute that I didn't want to cover it with a blanket.
That's why she caught a cold, huh?
Rika! I can hear you! You had better put a blanket on me next time. You're in the middle of a quiz, Satoko-chan. You need to concentrate. Irie, Hanyu and I all laughed. Satoko went back to her test with a bitter look on her face.
Understandable.
Irie began speaking to me in a softer voice.
Sleeping with your stomach out is a general Japanese worry that it'll cause some kind of illness. I can kind of confirm that. Does it cause illness? I don't know. But, you know, if like the area around your stomach gets too cold, at least that's how it works for me, especially in the back, I need to go pee more. Like my kidneys are going into overdrive.
I can kind of just imagine a Korean myth of some prince using your belly button for other purposes, but instead gets sucked up in it, takes over, but he isn't fully able to take over your body, so you just get like a cold or other negative symptoms because of that, because he's trying to make his way out of your body again. And until he actually manages, you remain feeling shitty.
Tifa, the amount of time you appear to be spending on thinking dead Korean prince ghosts invading your body is weird.
I watch too many Korean dramas, don't I?
No, I think it's perfectly fine as a hobby to have, or as a genre to enjoy, but
I feel like this made perfect sense for a myth, considering what some yokai do.
oh well. She's in remission, but her level is still L3 negative.
Wait, what does this mean?
She was and will continue to be in critical condition. I only ever heard the term being in remission when it comes to somebody having cancer. It means she's L3 negative. Thank you,
Dark Lord. I was already wondering.
Also, Dark Lord thinks you're not watching enough K-drama.
She's never ever going to get better?
Just like with anaphylaxis, her body will be conditioned to react severely even after the foreign chemical is out of her system. In other words...
Aha, parasites. She'll never move below the level 3 stage.
I'm sorry.
Also, what's
the foreign chemical? Anaphylaxis? It's the sister of rhabdophylaxis.
Oh.
And that's a medical term, I know that. I can Google this one, that's safe. Anaphylaxis causes the immune system to release a flood of chemicals that can cause you to go into shock. Blood pressure drops suddenly, the airways narrow, blocking breathing.
So is that
weak
the
pulse,
foreign
skin
chemicals?
rash, nausea, vomiting. Like an allergic reaction, but...
Well, maybe that's the foreign chemicals then.
What is she showing that to? Because it seems like she's permanently poisoned.
Parasites.
Aliens! Yes.
Please.
Yes, that's right. But it's not the end of the world. She can control it by maintaining a proper lifestyle, as well as taking some medication.
But it will never be cured in her whole lifetime. I looked at Satoko as she enjoyed taking her test. She seemed to be having fun, even while being teased by Takano. I can't believe that she's suffering from an incurable disease.
If you think of it in a negative way, you're right. But many people in the world are coping with incurable illnesses. Diabetes is a good example. The condition itself can never be cured, but the symptoms can be controlled.
I know that very well. There are many worse diseases in the world. Satoko might be in a relatively good situation compared to many other sick people.
Of course, I'm not giving up on her. I'll make sure that I'll cure her disease someday. I promise.
I trust you. That's a big promise to make.
I'll find a cure for this incurable disease. Easy peasy.
I will find a cure for cancer.
Which
promise.
Which is something, by the way, somebody could say if they know they're immortal. Just saying. Yes. Trust me.
Irie spoke to me with a serious look on his face. As Satoko's best friend, I felt relieved to hear his words. I'm sure he'll do his best to save Satoko's life. I have no doubt that he'll do so. I've seen him act like this in every life I've lived. I also know why he's so passionate to save her, but I'm not supposed to know about it in this life. That's why I always pretend not to see his sad smile.
By the way, Rika-san, we'll be conducting another big test at the end of the month.
Am I going to be the guinea pig this time?
What big test? It's not like that. You're only helping our studies, which will save many people's lives. Can we stop beating around the bush and get to what we're talking about? Because it's kind of important.
Irie's guinea pig is not just Satoko. I'm also one of them. Although guinea pig is probably not the right term. Without Irie's efforts, Satoko would not be here today. And for that reason, I should be showing respect to this man. I smiled at him since my choice of words had hurt his feelings. Beep. If testing me can save Satoko's life, I don't mind being a guinea pig.
Thank you for your support. I wouldn't be causing you so much trouble if I had more money and equipment.
The next moment, the phone rang.
What tests are they talking about?
Antibodies, and maybe he's getting...
Why is this just fodder for the parasite theory?
Irie answered it in his usual business-like tone. This is Patrick.
I don't think... Have you ever answered the phone like that at work?
I wish I could. I don't even have a phone anymore.
Yeah, but you've like, I don't know, Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Skype. Does Skype still exist? I don't think it does.
I have not, unfortunately.
Okay. Do it tomorrow.
Maybe if once I have time, I'm gonna print out like a Patrick face.
Do like a video call. Hello, this is Patrick.
I need to be in the office for that. I'm gonna do that next week.
You're welcome. I just gave you a great idea.
Next week, Tuesday, in my team stand-up. Then I can print it out because I'm at work.
Okay.
Then I will do it.
Skyped that out a few months ago. Oh shit, finally.
Oh.
I remember using Skype back when we didn't have anything else, and then every other service became better than Skype, so I didn't know anybody that still used Skype. And nothing of value was lost.
Yeah, Skype didn't move along fast enough with its time, I think.
Well, Microsoft didn't move Skype along fast enough.
Fair enough. And they already had different products, so I understand that they just put the focus on that instead.
Meanwhile, hello, this is Irie.
You have a call on the line from Tokyo? I'll transfer it to the other phone. I could hear the voice from the phone.
No, that must be Risa-san then. Is it that time of the year already? I'm going to pick it up at the office. Will you transfer it there?
Absolutely. Please hang up on this line in that case.
Okay. I'm sorry, Rika-san. I got a call from Tokyo.
Don't mind me. As soon as Irie hung up the phone in the other room started ringing. He left the examination room and headed towards the office. Hanyu returned to my side as soon as Irie left. Hanyu doesn't like to be around me when I'm talking with Irie. I don't think she dislikes him. It's just that she doesn't really want to hear what he has to say. Irie doesn't mean any harm, but Hanyu is often hurt by the things that come out of his mouth. Maybe when he's talking about little girls' soft skin.
Understandable. Yeah.
I don't know what else it could be that bothers her. Or things he says that can be hurtful.
I have a dumb feeling that Hanyu doesn't exist.
I mean, that could be the plot twist. We don't know. Maybe she's an imaginary friend, maybe not. Maybe that is just something Rika uses to cope.
Yeah, I'm...
To believe she has someone with her in this situation and she's not fully alone.
Yeah, like I don't
rule out either options yet.
I don't disbelieve that there's some magic bullshit happening, but I disbelieve Hanyu for some reason. I know it seems like a perfect moment to introduce an imaginary friend as a character.
It's purely because she's introduced so late.
Yeah, plus that.
Well, I think it can still go either way. How's Satoko doing? She's not good at spot the difference like usual. I was able to find more differences than her. I don't care how well you did. What about Satoko? I thought she was there to check on Satoko, but she was taking the quiz alongside her instead. That's so
really
typical of Hanyu.
That's adorable, actually.
She was treating it almost like a game, but Satoko was tired after taking the same quiz every week. Oh, weekly. She seemed sleepy, especially after waking up so early this morning. The quiz in this case wasn't about a right or wrong answer.
You had one fucking... If you want something done, better do it yourself.
It was about timing in minutes, how long it took her to answer the question, and observing how she acted during the quiz. Not all of the questions would be simple ones, so Satoko often got headaches, more so than even the spelling test we take at school. Is it almost over? Yes, it is. The book Takano has right now is the last one. Takano was showing a book to Satoko with abstract pictures inside. This is the Parasite.
Uh-huh.
And this is Oyashiro-sama.
I was gonna say she's showing her scrapbooks.
And this is what I think the aliens look like.
And this is the Parasite going through your butt.
I couldn't even tell if that was supposed to be a picture. It was just a symmetrical ink stain.
Oh, a Rorschach test.
This is the last one. What do you think this is?
A Funya Rinpa.
Both Hanyu and I looked at the picture over Satoko's shoulders. Even I didn't know what to answer when looking at that strange ink stain. Satoko continued to think. Takano observed her, taking notes while Satoko struggled. She was also timing how long it took her to answer, holding a stopwatch under the table. I spoke to Hanyu so only she could hear me. What do you think it looks like, Hanyu?
Say Funya Rinpa, I dare you.
Oh! It's soft serve ice cream! It fell onto the ground and ended up like this. It's been wasted. I see. This is a good test for understanding a person's mind. To me, it looked like a horse mackerel that had been cut open and its guts spilled out. I would love to see the picture.
Ew.
I was thinking of food too. It was rather shocking to learn that my thought process are the same as Hanyu's.
They are not remotely the same.
It's both food.
Fallen down soft serve ice cream is a very innocent picture. Yes, you can eat the horse mackerel, I guess, but it's been cut open and its guts poured out. You know, like watanagashi?
But it's still food, and both of it has been spilled.
Nah, hell no. Takano should apologize to her for Rinpa. I agree.
Absolutely. That sounds dirty somehow.
Because it kinda is. Not really.
What does it look like to you? You don't have to think too hard. Satoko must not be very good at this test. She always takes a long time to answer questions like this. She finally opened her mouth to speak. It's like 2 butterflies are on top of each other.
Oh god, butterfly sex.
2 butterflies on top of each other. Tell me more about it. Why are they on top of each other?
Legs.
Takano continued to take notes as Satoko spoke. Curious about what she was writing, I looked, but... Is that German? I can't read it at all. Takano is so mean.
Why does she have to be German all of a sudden?
I'm quite sure that was established already, no?
No.
It doesn't feel like new information. Can
Yes,
it be
it is.
that was in like chapter 2 or 3 already?
That's never been brought up. Trust me, I would remember.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, then...
Ein Rorschach-test, yeah? There's no real answer to a Rorschach test. They're randomly created on purpose. They only measure really what people tend to think. A general unsure marker of a personality.
Seems about right.
That's not true, says Ranger. The real answer is that I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me! we still need to watch Watchmen. You just want to look for if they make weird connections or say worrying things as if they're normal, like a horse mackerel.
That's
being
not worrying.
pulled apart. Japanese got a lot of the medical information from their alliance with the Germans during the Meiji era. Yeah, unfortunately they did. Chuck Norris passed the Rorschach test. I
haven't heard a Chuck Norris joke in so long.
Because it turns
refreshing.
out Chuck Norris isn't really the greatest person.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Chuck Norris was able to avert his eyes from Dr. Manhattan's storm. Wait, what?
We still need to watch Watchmen.
Oh, it's from Watchmen too.
There's bleedness in it.
Okay.
Yeah, big bleedness.
Well, I guess we're watching it. I'll put it on the list next to 28 days later.
The known Texan man is a Republican? It's more true than you think. Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about Chuck Norris in so long. It's just gotten silent.
Smurf penis. Oh look, Tifa, a perfectly good line for you to read.
They were apart for quite some time, but having finally reunited, they're excited to see each other again. I apologize.
That is so sweet, she's thinking of her brother.
I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
That is so cute. I feel like crying now. That's so sad.
No, you're doing just fine. You can just tell me whatever's on your mind. That's the whole point of this test. Are you certain even such a strange answer is serving a purpose? Of course. For example, take this picture. You gave me a totally different answer last year. I can tell how you've changed just by comparing how you respond. Really? I don't like this test.
I was thinking.
What did I even say last year? Takano smiled and took a note without answering her question.
Doesn't remember what she said last year about this picture she's seen once in her life.
Twice in her life now. I tried to remember what her answer was, but I have more than 100 years worth of memories in my head.
Oh my god, that's gotta be so fucked up. And by the way, not over 100 years of memories of living multiple lives, just making it to the ripe age of 8. Remember that time we elected a president from Texas twice and his dad? Can't change history, Ranger. As much as we all want to.
At least we got solid Will Ferrell material for a while.
That's a good silver lining.
I don't know why I suddenly hear ding dong in the back of my head.
Because of that Will Ferrell Eurovision movie.
Yeah.
That was pretty good actually.
I forgot the rest of the song, but it was also about penises.
Yeah. Thinly veiled. Probably is more cowbell. I think that's in there actually.
Hanyu might remember better than I do. As I looked at Hanyu, I realized that she was standing there with a sad expression. I decided not to ask her. I could tell what kind of answer Satoko gave back then just by looking at Hanyu's face. Last year, June 1982. That was when Satoko was being abused by her cruel aunt. Recalling that, I didn't even want to know what Satoko answered. But just a year later, the Satoko who was so worn down could no longer be seen. She became so strong. I know how difficult it was for her to stay tough and strong like this. Her growth over the past year is overwhelming to me.
Are you done with the test?
Irie returned from his office. Yes, we are finished. Which means it's a perfect time to take a short break.
I guess it is. Everybody do your Rorschach tests together and then compare notes amongst yourselves. We will be right back with the official results.
BRB. We're back.
We are. You still need to do a Rorschach test on stream, by the way.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. And I saw the comment as I got up to go pee during the break. And as I was washing my hands, I had a perfect idea on how to do it, which was one of the problems we still had with making that a reality. Thank you, Psycho.
We've been discussing that as something to do in between games.
I figured it out. I figured out how we can make it happen. In a way that is sensible.
Okay.
What would you do without me?
Nothing.
I don't know. Love. I meant it. Even if Tifa cannot accept
it
that.
super creepy.
Psycho, did that feel creepy or did it feel genuine? Maybe I show my love in a way that to you sometimes seems creepy, but it's all of my love nonetheless.
Oh, but when Irie does it.
There is a difference between pronouncing a word in a funny ha-ha way and going, I want to touch an 8-year-old's belly button.
Yeah, but it's not a funny ha-ha way.
I'm sorry if that gave nightmares to all of you like it apparently does to Tifa.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It ain't normal, man.
Also, during the break, Tifa made a toast and now you smell like food and now I'm getting hungry.
I'm hungry.
Also, you keep getting closer and closer to me. Thank you. Now, don't move.
Also, we can inform you that the mysterious ticking noises, aka the alarm clock, have stopped.
Yes, and it wasn't from our neighbor, the coughing one. So, all good. Problems solved.
Well, I still don't know where it came from, but it's gone.
So clearly, problem solved.
Yeah.
Positive thinking, silver linings, people.
But that's not the point.
Read your line, Takano.
Being good neighbors and checking on them.
Read your line, Takano.
Wait, toast.
So unprofessional.
Can you do my glasses for me, please? Now they are completely smeared. It's the wrong t-shirt. Satoko-chan
Wait,
is handling
please,
it
no,
a lot better
nobody
now.
can. I cannot focus on what's happening if you do this.
What? Why? I read the line.
Why do you buy shirts that you can't even use to clean your glasses?
Well, I don't walk through the store and do a glass cleaning test on everything I buy.
So, skill issue.
Better.
You've been stalling for like half an hour. Go.
I just said the line! Satoko-chan is handling it a lot better now. We were done pretty quick today. It felt like an hour. I did my best to ensure it was done with quickly. I have plans after this, so I can't stay here too long.
I want soft serve ice cream. You have something after this? Today is Sunday, right?
We're doing a club activity at B's uncle's store today.
Toy store.
Oh, toy store.
No wonder you were so obedient with the test today. It was because you have plans. I'm sorry we held you so long. Well, here's the stuff, Satoko-chan.
Open on a Sunday.
They have a store for uncles. That's what Tifa said, yeah.
It's Japan, they probably do, yes.
Heading back to Da Vinci, maybe.
Irie put a big paper bag on the table. He opened it up and gave her instructions about the medications. Satoko had heard the same instructions over and over before, but Irie still continued to talk just the same. You can probably rent one. You can 100% rent one. You can rent everything in Japan.
Avuncular rentals. Possibly, yes. Since you're doing better, you can go back to 2 shots per day. Please give yourself a shot before lunch and before you go to bed. Make sure you change the needle every time. Don't ever use the same one twice. I'm prescribing this one in case you really need it when you're feeling sick.
Yeah, same as usual, I know. Satoko couldn't wait to meet our friends for the club activity. It made me feel happy to see her as excited as this. She only has to take 2 shots per day now. I'm glad. The number of shots she has to take each day represents how well she's doing. So it's a good thing that she has to take fewer shots. It's rough for her to give herself a shot 2 set times a day.
Has that ever been brought up?
No. Oh, but wait. There was a chapter, and I don't remember which one. Where
the previous one.
Where I think it was... No, it was in one of the earlier chapters too. Where I think it was Rika that had a needle in her...
Literally the last chapter. When
no,
she
I'm talking
and her...
about the earlier ones.
Okay, carry on then. Carry on. Maybe I'll get what you're trying to talk about.
Where they had a needle, or where... I think it was Keiichi who found a needle in her pocket or something and started freaking out. Was that chapter 1?
So in chapter 1, he didn't find a needle in her pockets. He found a needle in one of his big rice balls. The only other time I believe it's been brought up where the thing that Rika wanted to inject Shmion with in battle and eventually injected herself with, and in chapter 6 when Oyashiro-sama went to meet Reina at the junkyard and she showed her the miracle drug.
That was probably something else.
We haven't really seen a ton of Satoko and Rika's home life.
Yeah, that's true. And the needle in the rice ball turned out to just be a hot sauce.
Possibly. I'm still not sure if that's actually what happened in chapter 1 or that's just like a... Oh, it could have been this.
I believe the recap of their version of chapter 1, yeah.
Maybe. Equally valid. I can't rule out one or the other.
True. I felt like they were actually giving answers there, and it just showed the same as with Reina, how Keiichi took all of those things a certain way. Because he was just losing it. I do believe that. Keiichi also found a syringe in...
Onikakushi, but it's hard to say how real that was or not. That's exactly what you just talked about.
Fair enough. Okay, I'll take it. Hanyu grew quiet after hearing my comment. Irie handed her the paper back after he finished his instructions. Rika! At last it's over! Good job. You seemed anxious during the test today. Have fun with your friends. I'm sorry I was so tense. You have my thanks for all that you've done for me. Are you going to make it on time? I can give you a ride there.
Please don't.
Oh, I also bought a new stuffed animal. It's in my car.
You stupid bitch.
You can give it a name if you like. Oh my! What sort of creature could it be? I wonder what I should name it. Well, what is it exactly? It's a cat again. One with tiger stripes this time. I think you'll like it a lot. Oh, that's so sweet.
No, it's not, because even the beings in the space between worlds know that Takano is bad people. No, I don't want my Satoko to spend any time with her.
I think it's sweet.
Nah.
And besides the fact that in the previous show, okay, we do know now that Takano is a little bit of a fanatic.
What do you mean we know that now? We knew that from the very beginning.
I kinda resonated with Takano in the beginning.
Of course you did. You know, that tells us more about you than it tells us about Takano. That's a very creepy offer, Takano. Thank you, Darko. You get it.
That was so cute.
I can show you a real tiger.
I could appreciate her obsessions with...
Nah. Tifa, for every single person like you who has an inclination toward the weird and macabre and abstract in a, that's kind of weird, but still harmless and funny way. There's a million Takanos who are like, let's break into this super sacred, like shrine grounds kind of burial area. Let's just piss on everybody's gravestones. What bad could happen?
He didn't do that.
She would if she could.
Nah, yes. I don't believe it.
I do.
Anyway, I think this was really sweet.
Nah.
Satoko and Takano are good friends. They're both fond of stuffed animals. I don't know what she's talking about. We totally don't have so many stuffed animals.
She says as she's looking at Bruce, the stuffed animal bat hanging there watching us, watching you.
Every time Takano gets a new one, she brags about it to Satoko. Wow, that's mean. Like, she has adult money.
She has katana money, probably.
That's all they have in common, but having a friend like Takano is a special thing for Satoko. She's part of the Hojo family, who tried to betray the village. People at the clinic are the only adults who will even talk to Satoko.
They didn't betray them!
Try to.
Have fun at the club. You should suggest wearing maid uniforms for a punishment game. I have every kind and every size.
I wonder if that's where they get them from.
Either way, I'll see you next week.
No, thank you. See you next week.
The fact that he has one in every size, including Satoko's, should put him into jail already. He
just likes kids and he likes to play theater with them to put them at ease in the clinic.
No, Tifa, he likes kid is exactly the right thing to say. You didn't need to correct yourself.
Well, let's be going. Our battle today is not only against the club members. I'm itching to put my skills to the test. I bowed slightly and made to leave the examination room, but I soon realized something.
I forgot Hanyu.
Irie was looking at me with a sad expression on his face. Just with that look, I could tell what he wanted to say. Please take care of Satoko-chan if something happens to her. I nodded at him and stepped out into the hallway with Satoko.
More like if something happens to me.
My goodness. I'm used to these tests and quizzes, but they always leave me exhausted. You don't like taking the tests? Well, I don't, but they are my job. There's nothing I can do about that.
It's my job.
Satoko is supporting Irie's research. She gets financial support by helping him out. Oh, it's literally her job.
That's where the money comes from that they live off of. Or some at least. That makes so much sense.
Or at least, that's what Satoko thinks she's doing.
Okay.
Wait, does Satoko not know herself that she's sick?
No. Stop flashing screens. No, I don't want to go to the toy store right now. I want to talk about this line. What the fuck? You cannot just do this and then let's go to the toy store.
That was a very loaded one. Like, does she know? Well, she must know because she's getting needles and shots. So obviously, and she's not feeling well. So obviously she knows there's something.
Kiyoshi probably gives them a stipend to spend as they need. That would make sense. I think we've talked about this in a previous chapter, that all the villagers are probably chipping in money too.
Fair enough, that could be it.
By the way, real quick question. I've set up the audio and everything as I did with the previous chapter, but somehow this feels louder. How's the audio? Any opinions? Let me know. Rika mentions going to borrow soy sauce at least once. Yeah, exactly. And there's also like Satoko being all like, oh, you need to be careful with your money spending, so go shopping in was it the afternoon when all the sales are happening.
Yeah, there's no way they don't get money. I mean, they're kids. They would starve to death.
Yeah.
Satoko was bursting with enthusiasm, so we headed to Okonomiya at full speed. We wound up waiting for Keiichi and the other club members for a long time.
It isn't clear who she's buying all this wine from. Probably a Sonozaki-owned store.
Taking it from someone.
Yeah. It's for Kimiyoshi, for the old man. Ha ha ha.
It's all the offerings for the shrine.
Yeah.
Oyashiro-sama loves wine.
But that's not unheard of.
No, I know.
Soft, not really a spoiler, but maybe. Spoilers potentially, I don't remember, for the movie, what's it called? Your Name?
Okay, yeah.
There's a shrine in that movie as well. And don't the people there also leave like sake or something like?
I don't remember in that movie.
Among the other offerings.
But giving a offering is always a good thing.
Yeah, and sometimes it's food. Or food items.
That can be, yeah. Mommy! Thank you for the resub.
Thank you very much. Love.
Love.
Did you see that look? She was afraid I would express my feelings the way I did earlier. Sake is normal, but Rika drinks red wine. Did they even bring up the color? I remember her saying that she can see through it, but I don't remember her saying red wine.
No, it was red wine diluted with water.
Okay, I was thinking white wine for some reason. Not that it matters really, but...
No, that was specifically mentioned that she adds water to it too.
Okay. Welcome in, Mame. How are you doing? Thank you for listening.
Hi.
Greetings, funky people. I'm not funky no more because I took a shower before the stream.
Can confirm.
And I mean, look at me. Do I look like I have funk in my mouth? Maybe.
I mean...
Doing good? Happy to hear it.
What he said. Ow.
Stop moving your arm, read your line, Tifa.
Everything hurts. We got here early, but they were late. I think they were late the last time we did this too. Did it mean that this was something that was meant to happen? It's unpleasant that I can't even change the most minor of fates. I finally saw them coming towards us on their bikes. Was there a reason why they were late? We've seen the bit before they go to the store from their perspective too, but I don't remember what it is they were waiting for.
The details elude me. Mame just got back from summer camp as camp counselor. Yeah, important context. I mean, either way is perfectly fine.
What's wrong with going to summer camp?
Either way is perfectly fine, but Mame, I don't even know how old you are, but it doesn't matter because the other day on your stream you explained that you finished your internship and you've mentioned before that you're studying, if I recall correctly. That's usually not something you do when you're like, I don't know, 16, I think? Like 12?
I think going to summer camp still sounds like fun.
I associate summer camp with like the awkward puberty age group. Because I only know summer camps from TV shows and movies.
I've never been to summer camp.
Just saying. Same.
Seems like so much fun.
I would know, all I know is from American television shows.
Is there an adult summer camp?
Probably.
Let's start X camp.
I'd rather not.
Wow.
No. The moment it has camp in it, I'm out. I don't like the idea of camping.
Can confirm, I wanted to go camping in Norway. It was shut down so fast. Didn't even get to finish the line.
By me and her brother. Because we're smart.
No, he didn't say no to camping. He said no to a hostel. Like, I didn't even recommend camping to him. But then again, he would say no to that too, I guess.
Yes, he did, as a matter of fact. Mommy could just be a genius. Indeed, I'm graduating college this year and I'm 8. Impressive. Good thing your parents are there to watch this stream with you and explain all the bad words we're using.
It's not unheard of. I'm just saying.
I think there's an age cap for participants. That's what I was thinking too, Psycho, but I don't know.
There shouldn't be.
Last camp I was allowed to go to as a participant was the year I turned 20.
I'm
Fair.
20.
Mentally.
Mentally, I'm like 15.
Not a fan of shitting in woods, but you do you. Psycho, same.
My mom last time tried to sell him on camping, and she was talking about all the nice things, and Jack was like, oh, that actually doesn't sound too bad. And then she was talking about some of the campings where they have the shared bathrooms and showers, and she was like, oh, it's not too bad. You just go in, you take your slippers along, and you just look around for the fungus and you ignore it. And I could see Jack's face just going like...
If that's what you want to do in your vacation, cool. I don't.
Yeah, but for a moment you looked like I might actually get you to go camping with me. No. And then she started talking about the fungus in the bathroom that you should ignore, and then it was completely gone.
Yes. Thanks, Tifa's mom. Also got married at camp. Congratulations! Tifa, congratulations on mommy getting married.
But wait. It's between quotation marks. Wow. What? Is this like...
All things you have to do as camp counselor. Well, I think legally you are married now. Just saying. I don't know what they told you, but I think you might be married now.
The quotation marks just throw me off.
Is getting camp married like Tifa getting married to 16 people in RuneScape?
Bye, girlfriend.
Are you married to a camp? I don't know how that works in some countries. I don't think you couldn't do that here.
Is it... Well, in some countries nowadays it's legal to marry an item. But a camp is more like
a place
or a thing. So I don't think that is possible.
Yes, there you go. Meanwhile, Satoko is eagerly awaiting her friends.
Hello everyone. How utterly slow all of you are. Satoko acted like she was upset, but I could tell that she was pleased to see them just the same. Satoko is so cute. Hanyu is throwing me off so much.
Yeah, of course, she's a ghost.
That's why I'll never tire of her. She's adorable. Also, I wonder, does she have like a mental connection to Hanyu? Or does she need to speak out loud?
Earlier she said she was talking so only Hanyu could hear. I'm thinking it's happening inside of her head. As Tifa once again presses the button on the fan under the desk.
Well, the question is it like...
I think it's in her head.
I'm talking to you like this. Or is it in her head indeed?
I think it's in her head.
Okay, probably, yeah, I agree.
Also, mommy got married for the play, for the story. They didn't even use our real name, so I doubt it's legally binding.
No, there's witnesses. The moment there's a witness, it's legally binding.
Check the paperwork, because I think A, you're married, and B, your real name has changed now.
In that case, I will say, congratulations.
Congratulations. How was the play?
Satoko's behavior soothes my feelings of frustration. This is why I love Satoko.
Honestly, Satoko just makes me more frustrated. And it's not because I'm mad at her, I'm just mad at her circumstances. Like, seeing her brings up lots and lots of anger for me.
Satoko, I think, is my favorite character out of all of them.
Yeah, I love her as a character, but at the same time, I cannot see her and not see all the shit she's been through and the amount of people that didn't do enough. And then I just get angry.
If she was a small fluffy animal, I would definitely keep her in a cage. Good morning, Satoko-chan, Rika-chan. Good morning.
Hey! Good morning, Rika-chan. Satoko, think fast. We've got to do this quick before cops get here. Our goal is 1 billion yen.
Keiichi-san, what in the world are you talking about?
$1 billion.
Are we late? When did you guys get here? It didn't take too long, so we've been waiting here a while. Leon and Reina know that Satoko gets a checkup every Sunday at the clinic. Sorry about that. Keiichi-chan didn't show up on time, so that's why we're late. That Keiichi. So he's the reason they're always late. That's not really surprising. Nippon?
Is it gonna be Rika that snaps in this chapter?
I don't think so.
Born from her... I could see chapter 7 go one of two ways at this point. Either she snaps from the frustration of this time loop bullshit she's dealing with and just being broken down by that, which fair, I would get that. Or chapter 7 is just about to manage to solve the issue, but not quite, because chapter 8 still needs to happen. But we're getting one step closer to a miracle of miracles of miracles that will eventually lead to the divine moment that we're waiting for.
I'm expecting something that has already happened again, but with a twist, without anyone actually going nuts. I think we had chapters where not everyone went insane.
Not really. No. Chapter 4 just skipped over all of it. Because it was a prequel.
Fair enough.
Wait a minute. Am I the bad guy here?
Of course. Of all the club members, you're the only one who can play the villain.
What's that supposed to mean? You better watch your mouth.
Keiichi and Satoko messed around with each other.
Oh.
Satoko acted like she was crying, and Reina punched Keiichi, knocking him out cold. It was the same old situation they always got into.
I missed this.
I can watch this sort of thing forever. It's like having a glass of cold milk after taking a hot bath. That is nice.
I can never win against her.
You should get up and move before she cracks your front teeth. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting it's me.
Tifa, nothing's changed. You are the narrator.
I am tired.
Yeah, stop being tired, then, narrator Chan.
But I'm a bit slower at the moment.
Any slower and we're reading backwards.
We all laughed at him and finished greeting each other. They're as lively as always. Nothing's more precious than one's health. You're sounding like an old lady, Rika. Shut up. Who cares what you think? I'm not going to eat any sweets if you keep on saying things like that. I'm not going to eat any sweets.
No. Prediction number 70. Hanyu is Rika's imaginary friend. Hanyu is Rika's other side / imaginary friend. She is projecting all of her childlike qualities onto Hanyu. That's what's happening.
Does Hanyu get powered up by Rika?
It'll make sense. I want it to make sense right now.
Hanyu seems to be getting more depressed than usual. I should stop teasing her so much. It was a joke. Will you get off of me? I'm sorry. Hanyu loves sweet treats. She especially loves cake and ice cream. Since she can't eat anything, she has to depend on me when it comes to that. In other words, whatever I eat, Hanyu can taste too.
Still feeds into my thinking. No, they're one and the same.
Even if Hanyu craves something, it doesn't mean anything if I don't eat it. In other words, I have total control of what she eats. That's why it's fun to tease her with saying what I'll eat and what I won't.
That's another reason why Hanyu doesn't like it when Rika is drinking wine. Besides the whole, she's drinking wine when she really shouldn't.
It's almost as fun as teasing Satoko. Oh, you seem to be in a good mood today, Rika-chan. I wanted to take you home. Oh, what? You'll be arrested if you do that,
Hey, Mion, the store owner's calling you.
Rika, did you hear? There's to be a prize for the club activity today. I remember.
Oh no.
Mian was going to be paying 50,000 yen out of her pocket as a prize. couldn't believe she could just afford that. Therefore, I have to assume that she has some kind of guarantee that she won't lose.
Isn't this the part where Keiichi wins the doll? Or is this the other part where they have like a game tournament in the store?
This is the game tournament in the store, but the dolls were after that as a thank you from the owner for bringing the business in.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what it is? It's 50,000 yen! 50,000 yen!
That's infinite amounts of money.
That's more than 1,000 yen!
50 times as much.
Satoko stared at me. Oh no. She was expecting me to be surprised to hear that the price was 50,000 yen. It's natural to be surprised after hearing that sum, but I didn't react because I already knew it. Perhaps I gave the impression that I've known it for a long time. Keiichi-san, isn't it amazing that the price is 50,000 yen?
50,000 yen? What the heck is that? That's like 5 years worth of a Keiichi GNP.
Satoko said the same thing to Keiichi.
Around 291 bucks.
That's quite
Fair
a lot.
enough. I'll take it. 200 bucks I don't have.
Okay.
And not counting inflation. Even better.
I looked it up. The state official, usually the mayor, needs to formulate a deed signed by all three parties for a marriage to be deemed official for the state, which obviously didn't happen.
Are you sure about that, Mommy?
Glad we made you doubt. But I think it's just a witness.
I mean, you might not be legally married, but, you know, culturally, basically. Enjoy your marriage. Say hi to your marriage partner.
Can't even buy a Switch 2 for it. I mean, that is true, but it's a good start.
We also don't know that Mame isn't also the mayor, true, or the person Mame married. Just saying. Just saying.
I think it's valid. Congratulations.
Yeah. You're the mayor. You're the mayor.
Go.
No. I wouldn't. I'm not the narrator, Tiva.
I have already said this line. She probably assumed that I wasn't listening to her.
Sorry, what?
She probably assumed that I wasn't listening to her.
Sorry, what?
So she decided to talk to Keiichi instead. That was just a small mistake. I'm fine. If I get 50,000 yen, I can get a lifetime supply of soy sauce. Wait, why would you buy soy sauce with a price like that? Because a certain someone also always gives me a dirty look when I ask her to go and get soy sauce from the store. Pipa. You're so mean, Rika.
How much soy sauce do you think you can even get for 50,000 yen? Man, I want to see!
You think like 50 bottles?
More. Well, I don't know how much soy sauce is in Japan. I don't know what branded stuff they're buying. What happens if
our soy sauce? We pay like $7 a bottle, I think.
Yeah. It's like a liter, I think.
Something like that.
What happens if a mayor gets married? Super mayor? Yeah. I'm with Psycho on this one.
Sounds about right, yeah.
And if two super mayors marry, it's a super mayor. Or a super mayor. I'm not quite sure.
If you merge them, you get president.
No, that's a couple steps above that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Keiichi joined the conversation, which finally brought us back to our normal pace. In order to pursue a greater happiness, I need to sacrifice a smaller one. In a perfect world, Rika Furude was supposed to be surprised to hear from her best friend that the price was 50,000 yen. But I already knew that. I knew it from my previous lives, so all I could do was give her a boring reaction. I can't be surprised at the big price of 50,000 yen. I can't give her the reaction that she expects from me.
But you can play along.
I'm losing the ability to be surprised by life. And after the continual repetition of small incidents like this, there will be nothing left that I can find interesting. I'll have nothing to be surprised about.
Well, to be fair, she only keeps reliving the same part until she dies at like age 8, so yeah.
I'll never be impressed with anything. Eventually I'll lose my emotions entirely. That's why I'm always trying to be careful. I make sure I act like the Rika Furude who doesn't know anything. Even though I may not be impressed, as a young girl, Rika Furude should be impressed with many things. Rika Furude is supposed to act excited when she encounters something for the first time. I try to, at least. But the more and more I try, the more I feel like Rika Furude is someone very distant.
That's gotta suck.
Rika, I'm sorry. I know I'm only wasting my lifespan by feeling depressed like this. I should enjoy life. I don't mean my lifespan literally. I'm not referring to my physical lifespan, but my mental one.
Tifa getting bigger and bigger on screen while I retain my smallness.
I'm starting to get really uncomfortable.
Then how about you sit properly like a human?
I did.
But if you sit like this, you should move closer to the right so that you're actually visible.
I can do that.
Thank you, Psycho. She's trying. How about I give you a massage?
No, thank you.
Yeah. Heat helps.
You're just gonna make it worse.
In Japan, they sell them in the soy sauce. They sell them in large bottles, like either shaped like wine bottles or like a big chunky bottle, like the kind they put Spieltrinken in.
What's that?
What's a Spieltrinken? It sounds like German words, but what? Game drink? What?
I put my game drink in a bottle.
Mame continues. Also, even though it was overseen by a church official, there you go. The Protestant church requires an oath to God as well to make an official ecclesiastical marriage, which also didn't happen.
Wow, it's basically like you crossed your fingers while you married. Wow.
But is everybody who was part of the marriage a member of a Protestant church, or could maybe one of them have uttered an oath to maybe a different god or deity? You know, there's many different cultures, many different ways to get married. Just because you didn't realize you were getting married doesn't mean you didn't. Before you fall too deep down this rabbit hole, I believe you. I'm just saying. So, I'm not married. I'm not sure about that. Oh, sports drink.
For the internet, you're married.
Sportgetränk. There you go. That's how I would translate it.
Oh, for the Spieltrinken.
Yes. Sorry, I was interrupting you reading a line.
I'm not referring to my physical lifespan, but my mental one. The more and more I repeat the same days.
I'll try to sit like her so that this doesn't seem as weird as it does to me in the preview.
The more I lose. From wonder to passion. And eventually my life will become like an overplayed videotape.
Only static.
If I'm tired of that tape, I have a choice to close my eyes and sleep. By the time I wake up, the video should be over. But in reality, my life is not a beat-up old videotape. If I close my eyes and sleep, that would be my death. When my mental lifespan is over, Rika Furude will turn into a doll who can't even move a finger by her own will. When that happens, my pursuit of happiness will be over. I don't want that to happen. It's been at least 100 years, if not more. I've been stuck in this living hell for so long. I don't want my life to end here. Sorry, I'm fine now.
No, you're not. You need help.
You must find it funny that I'm complaining about only a century. I've grown used to this fate by now. Huh?
I didn't know that was an option, that you could just get used to that.
Alright. I'm fine. I'm Rika Furude. I'm Rika Furude. If I don't stay focused on being Rika Furude, I'm afraid I might end up showing my true self inside of that shell. Yeah, but that means that she's older.
Yeah, I get it. Just lock in. Or more like lock your actual feelings out, because I get it, but in a way she... Goodbye, Tifa.
Bye. Ow!
I'm sorry, it was funny to me.
Yeah, I'm moving back and forth for fun. Huh?
See, that's funny. That's like funny. Huh? Oh wait, do it again. I feel like her fate is so horrible because again, let's say she has lived 20 times from, I don't know, her earliest memory, which was like 3, 4 maybe, to 8. Like she's never experienced all the other things life has to offer. She keeps dying as an 8-year-old. The constant murders are bad, but the ennui is worse. Is it?
Rika Frude is supposed to be a cute and innocent little girl after all. Beep. What would you buy if you got 50,000 yen, Reina? I wonder if I can buy the Kento-kun doll.
The what? Can you speak up, Reina? Sorry, I couldn't hear you there.
No, I'm in pain. I wonder if I can buy the Kento-kun doll. Oh, Kenta, not Kento. I wonder if I can buy the Kenta-kun doll. Do you think they'll sell it to me if I give 50,000 yen to the fried chicken store?
It's okay, Rina Ryuge-san.
I think it'd be easier for you to buy the tools and wheelbarrow to steal the doll.
That's what she did in chapter 1.
No, it was on the trash yard.
Yes, that's what she ended up doing in chapter 1.
Yeah, but now she's stealing it from the store. It's not on the junkyard. It's at the store.
I understood that.
Well, then she didn't do the same as in chapter 1, now did she? She didn't steal the doll.
I swear you have to be trolling. You have to be trolling to not get what I'm saying, Tifa.
No.
If any of you don't understand, that's fine. But with Tifa, it's personal. The Japanese really like KFC. Why not?
I bet Reina-san could break the chain with her bare hands if she wanted to.
I agree on that one.
Oh, you're all so mean. Thus, we rejoined the typical flow of conversation naturally. Once I enter that flow, it's not hard for me to continue as Rika Furude. Being Rika is like flying a kite for me. Once it's up in the air, it can stay in the sky for a while. But if something happens and it loses control, it's one heck of a challenge to get it back on its track. Every time it tries to get back up in the air, the kite gets dragged on the ground and wears out. I'm exactly like that. Finally, Mian started clapping her hands to get everyone's attention. I already knew the rules. The members will be broken into 5 different groups, and each group plays a game that they chose together. I was secretly hoping that Mian would change the rules for some reason. Nothing more boring than to already know what was going to happen. Mian can be very capricious. She really might change the rules. Yeah, but it seems like she's planning this game for several days already. A strong will can be fated too, huh? Normally when we're doing club activities, Mian decides what to play at the last minute. She opens her locker and randomly decides what game to play. For that reason, our club activities are rarely repeated throughout my life.
At least that's something to look forward to again.
That is quite fun. Also, it's considerably the common Christmas food in Japan. Oh, I have heard of that. They have like these special Christmas buckets, and there's entire lines at KFC. It's just a normal bucket, I believe.
Yeah, but it's probably Christmas themed, so it looks Christmassy.
I have no idea where that even comes from.
Good marketing, I would say.
To be fair, the reason I looked all that up was because you guys are like the 5th person joking about it being legally binding.
To the point that I genuinely wanted to know what the criteria for one are. Maybe, I'm not saying that's what's happening, Mame, but maybe the people who got you legally married went online and changed all of the information you now found so that you don't yet realize you've been legally married. That's
just too far-fetched. The internet is lying to you, so it's tricking you into believing you're not married.
Possibly. Would we ever joke about things like these?
No, we're a serious channel.
Sure. Gotcha. But do you know for a fact? I'm just saying, there's a doubt.
That's why I'm never bored with them. But just as Hanyu said, today's event was something that Mian had been planning for a while. I was certain she wouldn't suggest anything spontaneously today. In that case, this won't be up to a random chance. Mian had only one idea in her mind. Therefore, it was equivalent to destiny. Although her idea of having this event in the toy store is actually a spontaneous one. In all the lives I've repeated, there's a very low chance for this event to occur. True, I think this is the second time this has happened, no? Third time.
Yeah. So the official side of a Belgian government lies?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have seen the official Belgian government list and looked up what it means to be married a couple days ago, actually weeks ago already. And it definitely said that you just need witnesses there.
She did truly do this unless that is an illegal activity, in which case that was a joke.
Why would it be an illegal activity?
Just covering the bases, Tifa. We've established this multiple times before. You are useless in a court of law. Allegedly.
I work at a web hosting company, so it's perfectly legit for me to look at websites on a daily basis. Allegedly. Which is why I was looking up the Belgian government website and happened to land on the page that described marriage.
Allegedly.
You and your allegedly!
How often have I been in jail, Tifa?
How often have I been in jail?
Oh wait, we don't talk about that.
You shouldn't expect anything to be different. Oh, I'm not expecting it. Of course I was lying just now. I was hoping that Mian would suggest a new rule for this game.
Looking at websites is illegal now? Some of them, yes, actually. They're called honeypots because they usually contain illegal materials. So, yeah, basically. Am I saying that the Belgian website or the Belgian government's website about marriage is a honeypot specifically created to lull you into a false sense of security because you have been legally married, Kamame? I don't know. Just asking questions. Allegedly. Can you stream from jail? In Scandinavia, probably. In most other countries, I doubt it.
True, Scandinavian prisons are quite fancy.
Yeah, because they are made to rehabilitate you and lead you back into society to become, you know, a regular person. Not just to keep committing crimes, because that's the life you know.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
Which makes sense if you think about it.
Now suddenly I'm itchy all over.
Like illegal honey? Exactly. From stolen bees. The Flemish refuse to acknowledge your marriage.
It's basically like in the bee movie.
We never see anything other than Jack and Tifa's cupboard in the background. Maybe you guys are streaming from jail. Busted. Busted. Yeah. That's why the sound is a bit echoey too. You can tell, especially when I speak louder, because Tifa never does. Because it's a cell. It's just like...
Sometimes when we look up from weird sounds, it's just our cellmates fighting.
Yeah. Basically. Busted. Hey, it took like 4 or 5 years. We had a good one.
Oh, sure. But free food and income, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't need to go to... That's why I work from home 5 days a week. Uh-huh.
If it was the same rules again, I'd be suffering for a few minutes while I listen to her instructions.
I suffer every single time somebody tells me the instructions for any game, basically.
Nothing is more frustrating than walking the same path over and over again.
Agreed.
Please, Mian. Please change my fate. Please. First, we're going to be divided into 5 different groups. The winner from each table...
Yeah.
It was the same rules after all. Sorry, I was holding on to a small hope. Small hopes will hurt you, Rika. You're right. You've told me so many times, but I never learn. And you has taught me so many times. She taught me the trick to swimming in the flow of destiny. The flow of destiny is just like a river's. By going with the flow, I can swim the direction I want to in some extent, But of course, trying to swim against the flow requires great effort. Allowing myself to drift causes the least amount of strain.
It's awfully deep.
Mm.
Oh, the off-screen goat bleed from a couple streams ago was just a drug-addicted fellow inmate man? Yeah. We don't really talk about him. But
That's Carl.
he is the goat. That's what everybody calls him. Who's the spoopy ghost girl? Open for interpretation, basically. Potentially, she's a yokai. So like a Japanese ghost, spiritual being, who hangs around with
Rika.
I'm
And
beginning to think she is her alter ego / imaginary friend.
It could be, but the current explanation is that she is responsible for reviving Rika after every chapter and restarting it, basically. That is done by her powers.
Yeah.
And only Rika can see her.
Yeah. Also because I think I forgot, I think we had that conversation when we played a certain other game where that word came up. I think Shitsu is considered an offensive term. I don't remember exactly, because I don't really hear it often.
I know.
Fate.
Of course, some strong currents are impossible to resist, even with great effort. If I recklessly try to resist without realizing it's impossible, then I'll only wear myself out needlessly, just as if fighting a reverse current. So Hanyu taught me to read those currents. Which is why I should have easily imagined that the rules would be the same the moment I learned Mion had planned today's event in advance.
How do you read the flow of fate?
It is sometimes, if you don't actually have it. I
Oh,
feel like
it
is sometimes is the most annoying thing ever.
Yeah, but you know...
It's like either it should
happens.
be or it's not.
But words like that exist. It's like, it's fine to be used by certain people or in certain situations, but outside of that, it isn't. Makes sense. Nowadays, they call it DID. Exactly. I remember that term also coming up a lot when we... Spoilers. Yeah. Heavy spoilers. Super heavy spoilers.
Yet, I still wish the rules would be different. A completely wasteful action. In the end, my hopes were betrayed, only leaving my heart worn out. And things like that cause me to separate further from Rika. Eventually, I'll grow tired of everything, lose all interest, and die.
Is she... I shouldn't try to speak and swallow at the same time. Isn't that a real thing, by the way, in medicine, that people, animals too, I think, but people can die because they literally lose the will to live?
Yes, that is a thing.
That's so sad.
It's like dying of heartbreak.
That's also a true thing, but that's not just people being like all cute and like, oh my god, I'm gonna die of heartbreak. No, that can actually happen to you. There have been studies into it. It doesn't happen a lot, but it can happen. It's crazy.
A fate which can't be fought must be accepted.
I don't agree with that statement.
I know you can read the flow of destiny, Rika. You're right. My lifespan's already growing short. I should treasure what I have left. I sighed and pretended as though I was listening to what Mion was explaining.
What's wrong, Rika-chan? Are you bored?
Keiichi surprised me all of a sudden. Why are you talking to me?
No, the other Rika-chan.
This had never happened before, so I thought he was talking to someone else.
Oh, finally something new.
But it seemed like Keiichi really was talking to me.
Yeah. You've looked bored ever since this morning. Are you sleepy from waking up too early?
I was just thinking that I've already done this before. No one would understand what I mean anyway.
Unless Keiichi could.
But Keiichi might. And so I told him how I honestly felt.
Huh? Are you serious? No wonder Mion seems so used to this. I'm looking forward to it since it's my first time though.
I envied him for feeling that way. I sighed, knowing that I never will.
I understand how frustrating it is to hear the same instructions over and over again. I went to cram school once and studied ahead a lot there. I remember how much I hated hearing the same lectures in school.
Keiichi didn't understand me.
Or he's being super subtle.
He doesn't understand. But I'm glad that at least he understood how frustrating it was to repeat the same situation. I'm the same. I'm frustrated at school too.
What? Are you really? You always seem so happy.
Rika is supposed to be happy at school. That's why I act that way.
Understandable. Really weird how evolution builds in a just give up lemao button for shits and giggles.
I mean, at this point it's very understandable after living through this life more than 100 times. And it keeps repeating the same things.
Yeah, Psycho and I guess we're talking about the general concept from earlier. But I don't know, it kind of makes sense, no? That there's like a biological exit button you could feasibly trigger if you wanted to, you know? It kind of makes sense if you think about it that way. Familiarity breeds contempt. It also breeds my bladder, because I need to pee.
Then how about we call it a night, because I'm kinda done.
I was going to use that moment to try to help you with your bag so that we could maybe at least still get to the game part.
No, I don't think so. If you need to pee, we take a break now, but it's not gonna be a long one.
I need to pee.
Then BRB first.
PRB.
We're back.
So is Tifa's back, by the way. I did some exercises with her, but from the fact that she's already doing this, you can tell that, yeah, didn't work, I guess. Oh well. That's what she gets for going for her back, I guess.
That's what you get for exercising. I'm gonna stop it.
Tifa, I do as much exercise as you do. I haven't gone through my back once in my life.
I'm not doing it anymore.
Then do a different one.
No.
From now on, I shall do no more sports. You are... No. Whatever. I will not complain about how Tifa is today.
That's why I act that way. Hearing the same things over and over again is like torture.
What? Could you repeat that?
No.
Thanks. It could have been funny. Fuck you. That's what you get. Yeah, that's karma.
It's easy for me to change what Satoko cooks for dinner. I can simply volunteer to cook instead of her. But I can't change what the teacher teaches at school every day. I have no choice but to be quiet and listen to her lecture.
You could ask her about curry. Yeah, there's nothing you can really do. You can't just tell the teacher to move on because you already know what she's teaching you. But this is a different story. It's a game.
It is a game, but it's already predetermined.
You don't know that? After all, we're being split into 5 tables by drawing lots, right? Plus, each group gets to choose what game their table plays. There's no way to predict what games we'll do battle over or what exciting turnabouts await us today.
But I can make a good guess.
Yeah, I can also make a good guess that tomorrow I'm gonna wake up, have a coffee, have breakfast, have lunch, have dinner, go to bed. No, you can't.
Keiichi smiled as he contradicted me. That smile seemed so ignorant to me. While the groups will be decided by drawing lots, each club member will be in a different group. Keiichi, you'll be sitting over there. My table will be right there. I'll be playing a fishing game. You'll be playing a game called Billionaire. I don't know how, but last time we were broken into 5 separate groups. It could have been a coincidence. I'm sure Mion did something.
No. That's not what the line said.
Oh, it couldn't have been a coincidence. I'm sure Mion did something to ensure it would end up like that. I'm 100% sure. As for the games we play, I'm not totally sure, but if each member in the group follows the same thinking patterns, then we'll probably end up making the same choices. If you roll dice many times, you begin to approach the average.
3.
One person's spontaneous act can be random. But multiple people's thoughts can be averaged out for the most part.
Technically 3.5.
The more people that are involved, the more difficult it is to alter the path of fate.
If we're talking about a dice with 6 sides. 1 through 6.
That's why I'm pretty sure that we'll end up playing the same games. Keiichi seems surprised to hear my prediction.
What the hell? Is that like a premonition? How can you be so sure?
That's what fate is all about.
Fate, huh? That makes me want to smash that fate into pieces.
You smiled at me again.
I think he never stopped smiling. He's kind of pulling a Brock right now.
I knew that he was just smiling without reason, but I felt a small hope from him. After all, Keiichi really did shatter fate before. That was just a miracle that happened in my previous life. I couldn't expect him to do the same thing in this one. Otherwise, I would be worn down by my high expectations again. Alright, we're going to decide our groups by drawing lots from this box. The club members go first.
Really quick, couldn't Keiichi, now that he knows how Rika is feeling about this, couldn't he just get up, go like, I want to swap with Rika? Just to change fate in an unpredicted way.
He could, but then he needs to do that.
Maybe he will.
That's the whole problem. Mian drew first, and then Satoko followed. The results were the same as last time.
I really don't want to fight against a club member at the very start. I'm sorry if we get in the same group, Rika-chan.
Don't worry. Your table is over there. Mine is right over there.
Whatever you say. You watch.
Keiichi looked upset. See? My predictions are always right.
It was a 20% chance. Anyone can make a random guess.
Keiichi told me that it was just a coincidence. Then what if I predicted my seat right too? What's the percentage for that?
It's 20 of 20, so 4%? I'll believe you if you get it right with a percent that low.
Keiichi grinned at me, believing such a chance was impossible. It's your turn now, Rika-chan. Mian handed me the box of slips. No matter what I did, I'd be getting that table. There was a reason behind it. Mian was doing something to make sure that we all get a different table. I thought about why she would do that.
With one hand she's holding the box with like a hole inside to grab out of. With the other she's at the bottom literally giving you the note that you're supposed to pull.
With the information I've gathered about her over many years, I could see her reasoning. She probably thinks that she'll feel bad if a member loses in the first stage. You're right. If the club members are in the same group, someone will have to lose.
That's really sweet, actually.
If everyone was in a different group, we'd all have a chance to move up on the second stage. That's why she was controlling this draw. I put my hand inside of the box. I could feel several folded pieces of paper inside it. But if you thought for a moment, it was odd. No matter which one I choose, I'd never get any other table.
Yeah, how does that work?
I wonder how she's making it so you sit at that last table. Me too. Only Mian knows. All I know is that no matter which paper I choose, I'll be sitting at that last table. Ah, I got it. All the papers in this box are the same? They must be. I bet Mian set some kind of trap on this box.
But how would she pull this off 5 times in a row for all the people?
Different layers. It was probably a box for a magic show or something.
It's a toy store, they would probably have that stuff.
There could be some kind of gimmick inside the box and she can switch what's inside of it. Depending on who's drawing the paper, she'd change out the lots and control the result. I didn't know exactly how, but I was sure she was doing something. I didn't even need to know how she was doing it. The most important thing was why. Beep. I don't know which one to pick. No matter which one you pick, your fate is already decided.
Wrong line here, Mion. Sorry.
She was admitting it herself. I was certain then. Based on what I felt inside, there were less than 10 pieces of paper inside of this box. In other words, there were hidden pieces of paper that I couldn't touch somewhere inside the box. I smiled at Mian as I figured out her trick, but she had no clue why I was smiling.
Sorry.
Rubbing salt in the wound, it kinda does feel like it, doesn't it?
That's a nice fire you've got there. Oops, I spilled my oil into it.
I'm taking this one. Sure, let me see. Aha! Wow! The club members are all divided into separate groups. Mian behaved as though this was news to her.
She's doing a much better job at this.
She's such an actress. The other contestants made a dissatisfied noise. They'd have to face a club member no matter which table they got.
You know what would be completely fucked up? If everybody in our little circle of friends has the same history repeating experience as Rika does.
During the game?
No, the entire time. Mion is reliving all of this. Shion is reliving all of this. Keiichi is reliving all of this. With Keiichi, we appear to know this because from his perspective, we've seen him obtain memories from a time he hasn't lived in.
It would be funny, but then things wouldn't go as they go.
But they could. Everybody is like a cog in the big machine, and we just see them when they interact with one another.
Yeah, but if everyone is trying to change it, then it wouldn't happen.
Well, if everybody always tries to change something,
because then
it might feel the same in the end.
If we both have the same thing, if you try to change something, I might jump on that little change and then change something too.
We all know they all relive their lives. Just a question if they can realize their past to change the future. Like Keiichi did last chapter.
Yeah, but if all of them know, I don't think the situation would happen.
Maybe.
Keiichi was surprised too. And not only because we were divided. See? Our fate is already decided.
That rhymed.
I smiled at him in return. Keiichi was in denial for a moment, but then he smiled back at me.
Why would he be in denial? I thought he's in Japan.
That was really bad.
But made you chuckle. Sorry. The possibility was 1 in 25. I'm impressed.
It was not. I predicted that Mion and Satoko would be at a different table, so the possibility was even lower than that. Keiichi understood that. But normal people like him can't understand the meaning of fate. That's why he put it off as a coincidence. But Keiichi, what if my prediction is right about what game you'll be playing? The possibility will be 1 in billions. There are a lot of games in this store. What if that prediction is right too? Will he still believe it's just a coincidence? I stayed quiet in my seat and waited to see what game my group was going to decide on. She could also... Oh wait, the team club members weren't allowed to pick, I believe, as a disadvantage.
I think so, yeah.
I think it was the other people that had to pick.
Something like that.
They were going to choose the fishing game. Can't expect them to choose anything other than that. Can't have high expectations. Otherwise I'll be hurt again. One of the boys stood up.
Fishing game.
He walked towards the shelf full of games and picked up one box. He lifted the box above his head and turned around so he could show it to us.
The Zelda move. Item!
I closed my eyes as he did so. Hula hoop.
That'd be cute.
I could still hear what he was saying.
Check this out! Do you guys remember this? We should play this one. Yeah! It's one with the spinning fish, right?
I could taste the bitter chemicals from my brain in my mouth. I clenched my lips and tried to endure the numbing feeling. I'm sorry. I guess I'm not doing well today. For some reason, I can't just accept this flow. It wasn't because I wasn't feeling well, of course. It was because of my emotions.
At least it's not fucking Monopoly.
It really should have been Monopoly, though.
This chapter would never end if it was.
Our powers are getting weaker, and we can only rewind about 2 weeks of our lives.
Our powers. Again, they are the same person. Our powers.
Well, they are connected.
It could be worse. It could be Risk. We've played Risk once.
Oh,
it was
I love
surprisingly short.
Risk is so much fun. I think we still have that in the closet.
Yeah, I think we played like 2 hours.
Something like that, yeah.
Which is surprisingly short because the average game of Monopoly with Tifa takes 4 hours. And I'm not joking.
That's not true. I've once beaten you in 10 minutes.
I said average and I factored the 10-minute one in there.
Fair enough.
Do I need to remind you that once your entire family got up off the table and left, including me, because you kept insisting we continue playing and everybody was just done with it after I think 5 or 6 hours?
I love playing Monopoly.
Risk is destroying family bonds. Monopoly makes you depressed. What's worse is arguing.
Why does Risk
Fair.
destroy family bonds? There's nothing wrong with Risk.
Because it's basically Monopoly but different.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. The fact that you don't see this just proves the point.
Wait, am I thinking of the right game?
No, it's what happens when you play it, Tifa. The constant back and forth, the stalemates. You're thinking of the right game.
Oh no, I've never played this one.
Yes, you have.
The thing with the land map?
Yes, you have. It just looks a bit different than ours.
No, I was thinking of the game where you each have a side and you put down the cards. With
What?
the generals, bombs, admirals, and you take each other out.
Oh shit! Wait, she
That's
might
the
be right.
game you are thinking of too, because that's the game. Stratego? Stratego is what I was thinking
The
of.
German. Oh, that's the English name as well. Stratego.
Yeah, Risk we have never played, and we also
Okay.
don't have.
And we never will play Risk.
Okay, fair enough. Then I didn't say anything about Risk, because like I said, I've never played it.
And we never will. Thank you for the warning. Understood.
I would like to play it once. Now it sounds like fun.
I doubted it.
I was feeling that the end was near for us. In order for me to change my tragic fate, I needed more time to prepare. But I can only go back 2 weeks. That means my power to resist my fate has significantly weakened. It's probably connected to her mental state.
Oh, that would be crazy.
The more she gives up, the more down she gets, the more depressed she gets, the less power she has to go
Or
further back.
like actual power, like a muscle. The less you use it, the weaker it gets.
Well, it's like a motivation,
She's running out of MP because she's depressed.
basically. Even if I become as weak as a small leaf in the river, I should be able to do something in order to change my path. But if I can only go back to the point where I'm getting ready to be swallowed into the whirlpool, there's no chance for me to escape it. I lived for so long, believing that I could eventually escape my fate and survive. I believed that I had a chance in every moment of every life I lived. But there are limits to those chances. There are so many limits in my repeated lives, and perhaps this might be my last chance. That may be why I'm feeling so restless. Stop it, Rika! The harder you think about it, the worse it will be on your mind. I know. Just be quiet already. My brain was numb as I was surrounded by a grey mist. I was inside the crowded toy store, but felt very far away from everyone else. The tighter I closed my eyes, and the harder I clenched my teeth, the emptier my head became.
Funny, I don't need to do anything for my head to be empty.
No. Rika? Rika, are you okay? Huh?
Did you just pass out?
As I tried to focus, I became conscious again.
Yeah, so you just died and I brought you back here. Don't know how to tell you, you kind of fucked up there.
And you looked at me with concern. I tend to lose my mind easily right after coming back from death. I usually have more time to relax and get used to my new life. But I have no time for that now. The Watanagashi festival is only 2 weeks away. I can't just relax and wait for myself to get used to things. Don't be a wimp, Rika. Don't be a wimp. Fight against fate. But even if I do, That fate always betrays me, and I grieve. What if I did the opposite? What if I didn't fight against fate? A few weeks after the Minagoroshi festival of 1983, I will die because I am fated to do so. Fight, don't fight, 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 fight, don't fight. So I repeat the same words that started to lose all meaning. I feel like I was chanting something. I bit my tongue in my mind and forced myself to stop thinking about it. It was calming down a little bit. When I opened my eyes, I saw the fishing game right in front of me, as well as my pole. Someone placed it there while I had my eyes closed.
That's very nice of her.
It was as if I was seeing the immovable reality of fate right in front of me. I felt like a final verdict to me. What do you think? Keiichi? This is what fate is all about. Do I want to earn his agreement? Or his sympathy? I stood up and walked towards Keiichi's stable.
Did she do that last time?
This group couldn't decide on a game, so the store owner was deciding for them. Just like the last time. The store owner will pick the game of life.
I thought it's billionaire. It's kind of unfair to play a game that your opponent chooses. We couldn't decide on anything because we kept refusing each other's suggestions. Has your table decided on what to play?
So they can join the discussion. You could see it for yourself. You looked at my table and saw the fishing game there. Keiichi was surprised to see that my prediction was right again. He also remembered that I predicted his game too.
You said billionaire. So you're saying that the owner is going to bring out the game of life, just as you predicted?
It's the same game. Pretty good at predictions. Nipa?
Are you serious? Alright, I'll believe you if he really brings us the game of life.
You bet. Your group is going to play the game of life.
Fine, I'm willing to bet you. Don't you cheat and talk him into it.
He wants you to play a game he has a lot of, so he'll be bringing that one out. I remember it was covered by dust when he gave it to them last time. Since we had to buy the game if we lost, he was trying to sell products he had a surplus of.
I remember that one.
Smart. Therefore, he won't be choosing any game at random. He'll be looking for one with bad sales, with a strong will to do so. That will of his is going to make the pull of fate all the stronger. And in that sense, there's no guarantee that he'd be choosing the game of life specifically. She could have changed fate here by buying up the games beforehand.
At any point she could be changing fate by just doing something different. I don't think she realizes that. She could just go, let's swap places. She could have done it before they assigned the game.
Well, let's swap places. I don't think you can really do after an official draw.
Why? I don't like sitting here because there's a draft of air and it's hurting my neck.
Then the entire table would move.
Okay, but that's all the difference.
Still a change, that is true.
I'd say the point is she's losing the will to change things. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person I still have to cling on to hope, because what else is left?
She's just going with the flow.
I get it.
You might choose something else that's also overstocked. The owner finally reappeared with a box covered in dust.
Whoa!
See? I told you so. He has a Game of Life box in his hands. The part of me that hoped it wouldn't be the Game of Life tasted bitterness at the betrayal, but the cynical part of me that expected it to happen found it amusing in a way. I felt like my personality was twisting more and more.
Why did you pick that game? Huh? Well, I just picked it at random. I found it in the pile of inventory I have in the bag. It's not like I brought the most beat up one. Yeah, you kinda did though.
When he heard that the owner chose the game randomly, Keiichi shrugged his shoulders in confusion.
But he said random!
That must be his way of surrendering.
Hey, Rika-chan, is this really a prediction?
Mita.
Some old people from the village once told me that you're the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. They told me that you have special powers. They said your predictions are always accurate. Is that really true?
I was surprised that Keiichi actually believed that superstitious stories he heard from the elderly villagers. I just know that which is destined to happen. To make it clearer, it's because I've already witnessed this world once before.
Damn. I can't even make fun of you.
Keiichi seemed like he was just fooling around. He probably only thinks I'm goofing around and acting haughty because my random predictions all came true.
You know who never has to act haughty? Tifa, because she is a hottie.
How do you pronounce it?
No, you said it right.
Oh.
I was trying to make funny wordplay laced with a compliment.
It is funny, but I thought it came from a place of me mispronouncing it.
No, you're doing well.
Very good.
And I'm doing much better at not pointing it out every single time.
Just like thought, it's 100% guaranteed to happen every time. Thought? What's that?
I know thought, that's that hoe over there, but that doesn't have an H at the end.
It's also not 100% guaranteed to happen.
Some people it is.
I had hope for him. I thought the owner might break a different game, because Keiichi once had the power to change fate. But that didn't happen.
I think therein lies the issue. Keiichi doesn't have a power to change fate. Everybody does. He just did. Not because he could, but because he wanted to.
Oh, thought is a stand in JoJo that predicts the future. Oh, I do not remember.
Fair enough.
But that didn't happen. I'm not surprised. But I felt betrayed again. It hurts. I won the bet. I speak to Keiichi sarcastically. I wanted him to understand that no one can change the path of fate. However, he did nothing but smile.
He's stupid, but he's not that stupid. Don't get carried away, Rika-chan. Don't just say that you can read the future. For a guy, words like destiny and fate mean a lot more than you think. They're not things you can figure out that easily.
Fate? I had no idea what he was trying to say, but he made me nervous. It wasn't a scary feeling. No, it was closer to hope.
So dumb, fate can't grab him. You said it was fate that the owner would choose the game of life. I have to admit that your prediction was correct. But you also said something else.
What did I say?
Nipa? You said I was fated to play it.
He's gonna forfeit. Yes. It was indeed his fate. Fate can change sometimes with uncertainty and time.
He's doing what I said he should do. Just
He's gonna give
change
up on the
things.
game. But the possibility that it would change in this situation was very slight. I doubted that anything would turn out differently.
In that case, I'll change that fate.
I think that was a good line save. Too late. Eh? Keiichi stood up in a hurry. Then he started talking to Tomita and Okamura, his group members.
Sorry, but I own that game at home. I know every little rule about it. What? Is that true? Yep. So that won't be a fair game for us to play. Sir, I'm so sorry, but can you give us a different game? Sure. I'll bring you guys a different one.
The owner picked up the game of life again and took it back into storage.
Fuck you, fate. That's what we say. If you tell a man he is a puppet, he will cut his strings out of spite. Exactly. That's the kind of energy I love from Keiichi.
But
yes.
in a way, this was also smart. But now, because now by telling all of these things to Keiichi, she did do something that would change the fate.
Exactly. She is speaking up. She is doing something different. That's all it takes. Keep doing things differently. Throw shit against the wall until some of it sticks. Yes, keep going. Keep having hope. There are no strings on me! Exactly. Cut it here?
I'm trying to think of the song Pinocchio was singing in the latest movie. That's what the line refers to, I think. It's a line from that song, and I cannot...
Possibly.
I cannot hear it.
I remember Tifa watching it. I didn't like the movie, so I didn't really follow it. It's not crazy that they put that in a Disney film. Did they? Was it a Disney film?
It was the stop motion one.
Wasn't that Benicio del Toro? I didn't know that was for Disney. Pinocchio movie.
Which one do you mean?
Oh shit! Yeah, it is a Disney movie. I didn't know that. Walt Disney Pictures, yeah, with Tom Hanks as Geppetto.
Why would it not be Disney? Disney has the rights to Pinocchio.
Oh, in general, they own Pinocchio?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I'm
quite sure they have the rights to Pinocchio.
No, I did not know that. I really thought it was Benicio del Toro. From the whole, like, vibe of how it looked. Okay. I remember liking the way Tom Hanks portrayed Geppetto. But the movie itself, I didn't love it. I never really cared for Pinocchio, even as a kid.
The original story is public domain, but the specific character design and the music and the adaptations are still Disney's property.
Yeah, copyright stuff.
So they wouldn't have been able to make that movie as it is.
Yeah. You have no strings, your arms is free to love me by the Zauder See. Ja, 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 if you would woo, I'd bust my strings for you. Who hasn't sung that song for a significant other?
There are no live-action remakes in Basing Sing. Some are really good. I actually enjoyed Dumbo.
That's a Guy Ritchie movie. Yeah, it's a Guy Ritchie movie. That's usually very different from what I associate with Disney. So I can feel that.
But I thought that one was really good. I thought Aladdin was also pretty well done.
I liked.
I would have made some small tweaks to it, but all in all, I thought it was really good. It was enjoyable, and I don't even like Aladdin.
I don't care for the Aladdin animated movie. I like Genie because I like Robin Williams. I liked the Aladdin 3D real life remake or live action remake, and I have to say, the bits they added for, what's her name, Jasmine? That song she gets to sing, the movie version, not the studio version is good, but the movie version where you can actually hear her emotions in it made me cry in the theater. That was good. I liked it. Good. Some people are complaining, oh, they shoehorned girl power into the movie. Literally.
I mean, it did feel. It was absolutely it.
Spoilers for Aladdin. Yeah, but it also makes sense. Like, what does Jasmine do in the original Aladdin movie? Nothing. She's like, oh no, I'm a damsel in distress. You would think somebody in that situation has a bit more agency than, oh no, well, I'm a girl.
She's still supposed to be like a 14-year-old girl.
So?
I mean, she's not in the movie, but still.
First of all, in the remake, she doesn't look or act 14.
But I can appreciate if they put something new in the movie.
Yeah, it's nice when they add something new that's good. I thought it was
It just needs to work. Because they quite often, especially with live actions or when they try to remake a book into a series, they stray from a path where nobody wants them to stray.
Because
like, it's at the point where you actually want to see what happens.
Because we know better than the people that made this into a multi-million-dollar franchise to the point where we even are here today to make a live-action version. Fuck you, Netflix, and for how you handled Henry Cavill and The Witcher. Fuck you.
That I agree with. I also won't be watching any of the
How can you get the writers to go, yeah, how can you say you're gonna make a show about the books And then you get writers that go, yeah, but we know better. The book's kind of, they're iffy, they're kind of sucky. We just change things.
Quickly check which other remakes.
I will never get that. Make your own thing. Buy the rights to do a Witcher spin-off. There, problem solved.
Also, now that I'm looking at a full list of the remakes again, I also really enjoyed the 101 Dalmatians, which I had on VHS back then. So it wasn't even. I don't recall that one. Oh, those were really nice. Those were good.
Don't recall the remake.
That's before remakes were actually that big of a thing. Those were really good. Maleficent, I also enjoyed. I loved the fresh take on Maleficent.
Yeah, because it wasn't a remake. It was, let's take that story and flip it on its head and retell it from the other perspective.
I would really like to see more... I don't mind live action movies based on movies they already had, but I would like to see more original ones. And they tried with Scar. It didn't really work with Scar, honestly, but like with Maleficent, that worked. I would totally sign up for more of those. Dumbo was really good. The Lion King is the one I would have never done as a live action.
I don't care for that movie.
No. Mulan.
I think Mulan is the worst one for me.
Mulan?
Because it's so different from the movie I grew up with.
Yeah, but that's where they tried to do the original thing and they made it something more serious. And I feel like it had potential.
Also, spoilers, no spoilers for Mulan. Who the fuck was the Phoenix lady? Like, was she... How... If you ask people about Mulan, what do they know? Let's get down to business. They know this song. They know Mulan coming into her own. They know Mushu. And then they do a live action one and it's like, okay, no... If you would have told me it wasn't Disney that made this, I would have been okay with this. But don't say it's a retreading of that Mulan animated movie, because it isn't.
I can really appreciate where they wanted to go to with Mulan. But they took out Mushu, yeah. Like really, it's not what I wanted from the live action Mulan.
Yeah.
It could have been a really cool movie.
I wanted super awesome Disney $1 billion level CGI of all the Mushu scenes.
But they added some really cool characters in the movies. And unfortunately, I felt like those weren't really fleshed out. They were more towards the end. Spoilers, won't go into it too much. And I was hoping you would get more of them, but you didn't. But yeah, the dragon... You already went in with a negative headspace because that was missing and you really wanted that.
Also wait, it was Hugh Laurie and Glenn Close in the original 101 Dalmatians.
Those movies are really good. We can watch them.
I don't remember that at all. I'll take your word for it. One of Dr. House and Mr. Weasley kidnapping puppies. I want that movie.
They also made a Cruella spin-off.
That one we've seen.
It wasn't too bad.
Wasn't there a part 2 announced that I haven't seen since then?
Good point.
My spoilers for Cruella. I didn't hate the movie. It was surprisingly good, I found. But when you get to the point where it's supposed to lead into 101 Dalmatians, it doesn't. Because they instead of doing the thing where they said, oh, it's a prequel, at the end they veer so far off course it cannot be a prequel anymore.
Yeah, Cruella didn't feel like...
Yeah, like, spoilers, no spoilers. If you thought, I'm not gonna watch it because I don't care for a prequel, it's not really that in the end. It turns out
but
quite
honestly,
a bit different.
We said before that we can also appreciate if they do something new with it. And I felt like Cruella wasn't a bad movie.
Yeah, but again, don't tell me it's a prequel to 101 Dalmatians, and then don't take, 10 years to make the sequel to your movie that isn't the thing you said it would be.
True, 2 was also announced because it was quite popular.
Yes, where is it? Why do I need to wait 100 years between movies and TV seasons nowadays? Well, where'd all that money go?
The current upcoming ones are Moana, The Aristocrats.
Didn't we just get Moana 2? Why is there already a live action Moana?
That was announced quite a while ago already. Hercules?
Wait, did you say... No, I saw the Aristocats.
Yeah.
The Aristocats. So they just...
Bambi. And the Lilo and Stitch sequel.
If Bambi isn't played by Dwayne The Rock Johnson... I
That was
know
so
it
good.
was a SNL skit. I don't care. I want that movie. I want Bambi to go full public domain and then a full movie based on the SNL skit. That's what I want.
That I would watch.
Give me stupid movies.
But now I'm gonna cut this short and do the zoo because
Tifa needs a prequel.
I am done.
Tifa needs a prequel that ends differently than This Morning did for her when she went through her bag.
I see a prequel Friday.
There was 102 Dalmatians where Cruella teams up with Gerard Depardieu. There is villains and then there's Gerard Depardieu. Didn't need that much villainy.
We can watch those.
I'd rather not if he's in it. Just
No, I
saying.
don't.
Just saying. Tifa,
Pressing the button.
press the button. Thank you everybody for witnessing Tifa have a backache and still streaming with us. Thank you Tifa, you're the best. Hopefully it's gonna be better for her on Friday. See you then. Bye!